What up, guys? How's everybody doing? Try to catch up on some sleep, so I had to go a little bit later. That's my bad. I didn't want to leave y'all hanging. Smash the Rogans up, which is the thumbs up, because Joe Rogan looks like a human thumb. And side note, he's the gatekeeper that has been chosen to show you how far you're allowed to go, seeking truth. And he gets his talking points from a side, allegedly. But yeah, smash the Rogans up if you enjoy. Smash the sub button and the notification bell, and they will turn your notification bell off, so you have to stay on top of it. But you know, we don't cry and complain about it here. We just continue to fight through the grabblers and their little games. Can I get a sound check using a mic so someone can make sure the sound is good? Then we'll get into some gravy. What's up, bro? Yeah, sorry, man. I couldn't get on till later. Glad you're here. Hey, my man, what's up? Thank you again for last night, bro, and the support. That was incredible. You picked the perfect stream to do tonight. I just got a text by Gamma Calvinists who were telling me I was going to hell for not believing their exact doctrine. Oh, we'll get into that kind of stuff. Those kind of people here. I like it, bro. What's up? Pangea gets it, baby. Yeah, my bad, bro. I tried to catch up on some sleep. I've been like, constantly binging information and on Discord and then going live and reading and working, and been pretty tired, to be honest. I'm still exhausted from having that conversation with McToon last night. This is a definition of exhausting. What's up, bro? That'll be wild. I'll be surprised if we hit 500K with censorship, my man, but never know. Yeah, smash the Rogans up. Hello. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, yeah, well, we can talk about the debate for a second before we get into it. I have to agree with this too. And that's pretty hilarious. Religion, there's something we can all agree on. All right, so I'm thinking y'all can hear me. Certainly hoping so. Because I'm using a mic, which a supporter sent me a mic, which is incredible. So thank you very much for that. I was getting a lot of feedback. So yeah, with the debate, if you don't know, I debated McToon. I don't call him MC Toon. He isn't an MC. Okay, I call him McToon because I think it's funny. That's why I said his name so many times in the debate. But anyway, I debated McToon last night, a heliocentric globe zealot who has a channel whose entire purpose is to dismantle flat earthers and call us dumb, which just shows you how retarded their side is. If you have to say things like all flat earthers are dumb, you're clearly not even slightly being honest. So yeah, there's that. So there's no reason to really deal with these gammas. I'll just let you know, I'm being swarmed by the gammas, my Facebook Messenger, my email, my Facebook, my posts, everything, my YouTube. I'm being swarmed, and it's because they've just now had their religion shaken up. So whatever, let the dead bury the dead, okay? Because McToon just sat there and said, geometric horizons are never visible. Okay, dude, don't think you understand your own religion, and don't get it twisted. McToon very much so understands what he just did. Pure wizardry. He's lying. He's being dishonest. And that's why he kept promoting his website. And that just gives you a little bit of context as to why he's lying. He's put too much time and effort into this. Kept promoting his website. I thought I was watching Ben Shapiro for a second. Like, are you going to start selling me sheets next? Shut up. We get it, bro. You have a website, dude. Dude, it's so annoying. Okay, awesome, man. And thanks again for sending the mic, man. That's incredible and awesome. I was like a little kid in Christmas when they delivered that today. I was so excited. The sound should be better, yeah. I'll have to mess with all of the intricacies of it as we go. Yeah, this is about what we got. What you're seeing here is something you should be able to see, but it doesn't exist, so you can't see it. Oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly right, bro. Exactly right. Awesome, bro. Good to hear. Good to hear. So yeah, man, that's wild, and I hate that the debate was so remedial and repetitive. You know, it was like I had to ask the same questions 20 times, and he was painting it out to make it to like I was just dumb, and I came in here with my talking points and just had to keep repeating them. But the only way you'll ever interpret it like that is if you are biased, okay? Because that isn't what happened. He was trying to avoid the questions. Okay, and this ties right into tonight's stream, which is about religion, because that is his religion. It doesn't matter if he admits it or not. Okay, it's a religion. That's what it is. That's what it is. And little do you know, it was the religion crafted for you by your handlers, by the elite, by the grabblers. We're trying to break people out of it, man. You know what I'm saying? We want you to be free, man. We want you to be able to think for yourself. You don't even understand the implications this is having on your subconscious. We understand it's hard, bro. It's hard to break out of the religion, bro, especially when you've staked your livelihood on it, you know, with these different physicists and professors. It's especially whenever your entire online presence and YouTube channel is steered around it, right? But that isn't our fault. And we're going to stand up against you because you're dragging people down into the pits of just pure insanity and lies, so that because of your pride, right? And that's not their fault. That's not our fault, nor is it our problem. But I will suggest to you, I will let you know that I've never been more sure about this in my entire life. Okay. You cannot convince these zealots of anything. Let the dead bury the dead. I have been getting swarmed by these people saying I got wrecked in the debate last night. I got wrecked in the debate. I asked him only 3 questions of his religion. We could have kept going. I could have said, how do you explain the theory of relativity, which is a reification fallacy, which attributed a property to a privation? That's an unanswerable question. Okay. The black swan is unanswerable. The pressure without physical containment is unanswerable in the sense he couldn't provide one singular proof, one singular piece of evidence showing no containment. He showed high altitude footage where the pressure got a little lower and said, oh, there's proof there was no barrier in between here and there. Well, there's still pressure there, McToon. If there's a barrier, it wouldn't be there. It would be above it. We're talking about no pressure. Okay. Well, there's technically never no pressure. Okay. But it's a lot less than what you were showing, McToon. He was begging the question of there being no containment. So, not to get into the debate because I'm already tired just thinking about the nonsense. And I know everyone here probably understands what happened. So really what's going to happen is that's going to break off into 2 groups. It's the people that watched it. They're honest. They know that that was retarded. It wasn't even close to a debate because he didn't even answer the questions. Okay. All he did was shuck and jive, and he can't answer the questions. There'll be the people like, damn, this dude's lying, can't even answer the questions. And then there's the people that watched it and just whatever he said, they were going to agree with it and take it as the gospel. The coefficient of 2.0. What are the variables of that immaculate refraction that you're referring to? And what radius is it that you're starting with? Because if it's 7/6, now you're extending your radius. You are making the earth grow so that you can explain observations that don't coincide with your religion. What is the temperature got to be insane? The humidity levels has to be insane. We can go make these observations all the time. It's retarded. They're doubling down in the face of contradictory evidence, which is the quote that he kept bringing up. It's wizardry, bro. That dude is a wizard, bro. He literally attacked me with what he was doing. He said, you know, it's foolish to, the true mark of a fool or something to that extent of doubling down in the face of contradictory evidence. And he did that for an hour and a half. It is pure wizardry. That's why I'm sorry. I had to be like that, bro, because I've debated him once. I just wasn't doing it. I was like, no, we're not moving away from it. Even the moderator wanted to help him move away from it. I think you are talking past each other. No, I'm talking right to him. He's not answering the question. There's my take on that. Let me see. All right. So tonight is about religion. And I'm not, like I said, I was catching up with sleep. And I don't want this. I would prefer this topic be the way I'm going to do it anyway, which is me just talking to y'all, going through a little bit of my experience and making my point about how I use the word, because I use it a lot. I'm not going to break down the intricacies of every world's religion, right? Because it's just not something I'm interested in doing. Okay, and go ahead and let everyone know right now, I'm not a part of a theological debate. That is not my thing, bro. Okay, now I know quite a bit about misinterpretations of the scriptures. That's because I read the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing the theological debate, theological discussions, the intricacies of every word, because that's that the religious debate is how that they keep us all distracted. Got a Glover to blatantly say the geometric horizon can never be seen. Exactly, bro. It's hilarious, dude. It's hilarious. Yeah, dude, you're the man, bro. Invisible horizon, invisible container, invisible globe, dude. Yeah, nothing counts. Nothing's there. You know, I promise it's there, but we can never see it. Okay, well, go somewhere else with your wizardry, bro. No one cares. This is a religion. That is a religion. And then he tried to play the little victim card in his opening statement. He calls us retarded, basically retarded, right? And religious. And then I call him religious. I reverberated his energy. And he's like, no, I'm not going to take that ad hom. I'm like, dude, shut up, bro. He sold us the geometric horizon in his opening argument, right? His first postulation. And then the very next thing he did was deny that it could ever be seen. I'm like, dude, if people watch this, I don't even care, bro. Let the dead bury the dead, bro. It's the magic with the K in his unseen horizon. Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think it's spelled magic normal, but with a K on it. I think there's a C in it too. Thank you, bro. Much love. He knows he's good at debates, knows how to look like he's answering without even answering. Yeah, exactly. He didn't answer one question, bro. That's why I didn't even want to do it. That's why I will certainly never debate him again. That's why I was super impatient with him. I had to talk to him like he was a child, because let's be honest, as much of a goober as that dude is, he is good at semantics. He is good at guiding conversation, and he's also good at wizardry. That's all he was doing. He was objectively getting obliterated because he couldn't answer the questions, but he was making it look like, to any biased viewer that's really pulling for Mattoon, that he won. And that's, I don't even want to be around wizardry. Technically, that's on my channel. You know, I don't even want that coming out of my channel, because it's disgusting, bro. And it's the exact opposite of morality. Thank you. I'm glad you got to him to say stupid stuff over and over on the record. I'm glad you got him to. Now he can never say he didn't say that stuff. Yeah, that's true. That's true. When he showed that chart of the red squiggly lines and called it empirical evidence, I was astounded. Yeah, a 6-year-old could have drawn this. Dude, he didn't even explain all the variables. And I don't think anyone understands what he's saying. And that's why I didn't let him do that. I was just like, no, what type of refraction is it exactly? You know? But he's like downward refraction. We all know what he's saying. Okay, there are types. There's a type of refraction. There's a scenario of refraction where the horizon, if it was physical, would appear to maybe move, but it would be very little, bro. Very little. They have to come out with 7/6, 6 being the radius of 7/6r. 7/6r. That's extending the radius 1/6. Okay, so what? Now the Earth's shape just gets bigger. Now the Earth's radius just increases when you can't explain observation. And that's not even an accurate explanation, right? He said up to 4,000 mile projection refraction. Okay, you live in that fantasy world, bro. I'm not partaking in it. I'm not going down your rabbit hole, and that's why I called him out. I don't think people really know what's going on and what exactly he's claiming. Okay, but he didn't even introduce the variables. He is proposing the idea that that's an anomaly of refractions, or anomaly of observation, and that it's of an immensity and radius, right? And that's retarded, bro. It's retarded. Your Earth can't grow, bro. Y'all, I think everyone knows the Earth has to be what it is, bro. It's supposed to be a sphere, and it's supposed to be a certain size, and it's supposed to have a certain speed, and this is all perfectly placed into the heliocentric model, okay? It's not like you can just randomly, whimsically change it. That's not how it works, and that's why they are stuck between a rock and a hard place. All you have to do is watch them squirm, and you don't have to be, yeah, sure, I'm decently good with my words, you know what I'm saying, and I don't really back down in the moment. I probably could have done better. I just couldn't even, I didn't even want to be there. It was just exhausting, but my point is, everybody can do that. Just learn the arguments. Everyone can do that. Okay. Like, okay, so to have this intertwined with the title, this is what's wrong with the heliocentric religion. Okay. And this is, you can just learn these questions, and all of you can do this. All of you can do it. Okay. Like the necessary antecedent, which just means the reciprocation. Okay. The opposite, the necessary antecedent to gas pressure is physical containment, a container. You saw how I kept saying it, containment. Oh, I do agree with containment. Stop playing semantics, McToon. We're talking, you know what I'm saying. That just show his wizardry shows his dishonest intent. But I'm just saying that question isn't answerable, guys. That's all you gotta say. And I know it's a cliche, flat earth thing to say. Well, it's because it's true. So you just still say it. Okay. The necessary antecedent to gas pressure is containment, physical container. Okay. No, it's not. Okay. Can you explain? Can you provide one observation in the history of mankind that shows gas pressure existing without a physical container? They can't do it. I knew he couldn't do it, so I just sat there and watched him. There's no such thing. First, what the Globers tried to do is show these different examples where they'd put gas pressure in a container that wasn't capped off. Well, that's still a container. It's still having something to press on, pressure, right? All right. And then you can always say the theory of relativity is a reification fallacy. Einstein reified space. Okay, he attributed a property to nothing. Okay, warped space-time, warped privation concept. It's retarded. And all the basic questions, bro. Can you show me any example of water, going convex? Can you provide some convexity of water examples for me, please? Because that's not what water does. They can't even prove gravity, and according to Cavendish, it's like 1/50 millionth of your body weight or something like that. It's like, it's insane, bro. It's insane, bro. The religion is founded on nothing but pure speculative, mystical, hopeful belief systems, and just dismantle it. Dismantle it. You can do it too, because Flat Earth will not get as big as it needs to if it's just me going live, and it's just, QE and John and Globe Busters and Ball Busters and all these people. That's not. Everyone has to learn the arguments. Everyone has to go out and start flat smacking people, okay? Because the truth's on your side, bro. You are right. You are right. So just learn the arguments, bro. The black swan is simple. There's a physical geometric horizon deduced from the radius. The radius is the center of Earth to the outside of the Earth. There has to be a radius there, okay? It doesn't matter how much he wants to change it. I think I may have made a little illustration for you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Yeah, and I guess my whole point of this opening little monologue is, dude, just hold your ground against the wizards, bro. Like, hold your ground against the wizards, and they panic, bro. They panic. Like last time we debated, McToon was in my inbox in a heartbeat. And he's not gonna talk to me now. And he's getting on. I actually had some respect for him. I don't know why. I didn't watch much of his stuff, bro. I thought he was gonna be more real than that. But now he's over here amping up all these people on Facebook talking crazy, saying I'm stupid. I'm like, okay, McToon, if you're gonna say I'm stupid, now we don't have any respect. It's not because if I was stupid, you could call me stupid. You know what I'm saying? But I'm objectively not stupid. It's provable. So answer the questions, bro. Anyway, this is to give you an idea. The diameter is all the way across, right? The radius is from the middle to the outside. That's 3,959 miles. This is not negotiable. Okay, this is a cartoon, and this is just as real as their religion. Okay, I made this in PowerPoint in like 30 seconds. You see the radius, 3,959 miles. He didn't even know the radius. How do you sell out to a religion you don't even know the intricacies of? I had nothing pulled up in that debate, guys. Nothing. Well, no, I had the black swan image on my StreamYards, and then I had the over the frozen lake observation from on Ben Taboo Conspiracy's channel, and I didn't even play it. So like I just sat there, bro. It's that easy. It's that easy. So just that's my spiel. Hold your ground against these people, bro. Little magician grabblers. It's annoying. All right, let's just get into the gravy of the religion. Usually debates more honestly. He tried last night, but he got backed into a corner and lost direction. Yeah. And he does, you're right, bro. He does normally debate what it seems it's wizardry, but what appears to be honest. But he couldn't do that last night because the things that I was bringing up, if he conceded them, his entire religion's gone. I wasn't hitting him with some light work questions. You know, if you can't substantiate the physicality of the geometric horizon, religion dead. It doesn't matter how you spin it with your gamma wizardry. I lost all respect for him, bro. I expected it from the Toon Squad. It's a bunch of little gamma keyboard warriors. I expected that. I expected them to swarm me. I expected them to just continue to say that I lost without even being able to comprehend the argument. They're all coming at me saying, you're such an idiot. You brought up a picture where the cranes are super wiggly and refracted. It's not about the cranes, you idiots. So they don't even understand. I sat here and remedially explained it for 20 minutes. But whatever. It's religion. That's the whole point of the stream, and that's what it is, okay? Stop believing religious beliefs, or at the least acknowledge that's what they are, right? That's the point. That's definitely the more so the important point. I'm not saying I know God's real. I'm in no way telling you to not believe in God. That would be stupid because God is undeniably real. God, the proof of God is everywhere. Okay, look at the Fibonacci sequence. Look at your DNA, bro. The fingerprint of God is everywhere. It's everywhere. Sacred geometry proves God. The basic harmonic nature of the world proves God. How our lungs look just like trees and they need each other proves God. Everything proves God. Intelligent design proves creation. I'm not telling you in any way to dispute that because that's retarded. It's not even a debate, bro. You know, so God's definitely real. But we're going to get into the other aspect of it, which is men's interpretation of God. Wow. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rakia. Life. Geometric horizon can't be seen because it doesn't exist. Welcome to flat earth. Jesus, there is power in his name. Agreed with everything you said, bro, and thank you so much. That is pretty insane, bro. I don't know who that is. Travis. Thank you so much again, man. So, what's up, my man? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I finally got some sleep, bro. I just woke up. I had just woke up for that debate, too. I want to make sure we get kind of on topic. It's all good. Actually, I don't care because I'm not big on the religious discussion, but it needs to be addressed. And the number one religion we're running into, of course, is heliocentrism, which is retarded. I don't think people understand it. That's the religion we're going to start with, okay? Heliocentrism, right? Let me give you an image of this belief system. My desk is like not level or something. I keep hearing it. But yeah, anyway, just embrace the moment, because we are in the day and age where people are saying that their own physical edge to their ball Earth doesn't even, you can't even see it. Yeah, you don't say. So your suggestion is to come up with some new mystical refraction which can't even be substantiated, or we're just gonna go with what's logical here. It isn't there. Oh yeah, you can't see it. It's just like when you see something way off in the distance, right? And you see it way too far, and you're like, "Look, bro, we're not supposed to see this. It's supposed to be curvature there." He's like, "No, there's an explanation." And they tiptoe and dance the whole time trying to explain it. And then you should try this out because it's very telling. After they tiptoe around all the refraction nonsense, and then you're like, "Okay, is there any other explanations that we could have?" Most of them won't even be able to get the words out of their mouth that, yeah, it's just there. Yeah, we just see it too far because there isn't a curve. Most of them, they can't even admit, well, yeah, we're just seeing it. They can't even say that. They can't even agree that that is a possibility, a possible answer to the question, because they're part of a religion. Okay, that's the whole point of the stream, is the extremism that comes with religion. So let me see. I was looking for that picture where it shows all the simultaneous motions, but whatever, forget it. We're just gonna look at this. Okay, that's not what I wanted to look at. There we go. If y'all can see it. Yeah. So religion, the belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods. That is not religion. So a particular system of faith and worship. This is getting more along the side here. A pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes supreme importance. Really, the big part here is a particular system of faith and worship. Okay, believing in God is not religion. Okay, and that's just the truth. Doesn't really matter what anyone says about it. So yeah, of course, this is Google, bro. This is the beast, right? But my point is, what religion is for me, bro, is it's a belief system derived of a doctrine being a man-made interpretation of some scriptures that could be considered divine, of the metaphysical, of the idea of God. It's a man-made doctrine, which means an interpretation. Okay, and then you have a religion. And the true idea of a religion is a belief system completely reliant on faith, void of evidence, right? Well, I believe in Yeshua, and there's a ton of evidence for him, right? And I'm not religious, bro. Like, I have a relationship with God, bro, and Yeshua. I don't have a religion with him. You know, like, God's a father. I don't have a religion with my father, bro. Like, I have a relationship with him. Now, I know that some people can interpret that as me being biased to my belief system and saying it's not a religion, but yours is. Well, no, Christianity, modern Christianity, is a religion. It is a religion. These people don't even typically know the actual story they're claiming to believe in. So it's a religion. They believe in the rapture because a man interpreted it that way and told them that. And by the way, all the preachers that say something about the rapture, they didn't read that in the Bible. It's not there, okay? But they were taught that in their ministry schools, which was introduced in the late 1800s. That's where that interpretation fully came from. But let's just kind of maybe go over some of the historicity of religions, right? And how it's actually a quite a valid, maybe yeah, there we go. It's quite a valid critique or criticism to talk about how it's used for control, because it has been, bro. And if you're going to be honest, you have to admit it, bro. You have to admit it. This is some clear markers of someone defending a religion. They're not being honest. They won't answer the questions with specificity. They shuck and jive. They lie. They attack you, right? They self-project onto you. That's what someone defending a religion does, okay? If you're just defending truth, which if God is real, God is truth. There's no reason to do any of that. There are things that you don't know, bro. We're talking about God. Talking about God, okay? That's what the heliocentrists do. That's what we watched McToon do last night, bro. That's what they all do, bro. That's what we watched Team Septic do whenever Nathan Thompson debated him. And these people must hate Nathan Thompson because I've been called Nathan Thompson like 20 times already. I'm like, God, what do you got your arguments from Nathan Thompson? What? It's like, dude, he was doing something right. So shout out to Nathan Thompson because he's got them just in a constant state of a whirlwind tailspin. Religious people think their opinion is infallible truth. It's just their opinion. We all have opinions. It's okay to admit that. Yeah. But here, of course, this is just my channel, and I'm going to tell y'all what I think, and I'm quite assertive. So, discern my tone here. I can't really pull the assertion or the confidence out of me when I speak. It's just kind of the way it is. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that Yeshua is real. When I say that I know he was real, it's undeniable. Now I did the historicity, the research into it. And when I studied the historicity of Yeshua, I found out that we've been lied to about the true story, that he really was there, that he really did get killed for no reason, that his tomb really was empty. And I was like, okay, Yeshua is real. And we've been lied to, and the whole calendar revolves around this dude. And anytime someone cusses in the world, they say Jesus, or like they use Jesus as a swear word. Like if they stump their toe, they're like, Jesus Christ. It's like, I've never stumped my toe and said Buddha, and stuff like that just made me relook at it. I thought it was kind of weird. So I relooked into it, and then you'll find out, okay, we've been lied to about it. There's something true about it. We've been lied to about a lot of things. Okay. And then if you do know, like we just let the gravy flow here. Okay. Like I believe Enoch is legit. Enoch tells you that the watchers came down and they tricked mankind. They were revered as gods. That's where all the polytheism came from. All the polytheism is not some mystical man-made idea of gods, which is what the history books will tell you, which is what your teachers will tell you. They'll tell you, no, these people were just super primitive, right? And so they made a sun god and a moon god. No, or maybe you just don't know what you're talking about, okay? Because the story is they came down and were literally revered as gods, and one of them was in charge of saying, this is how the moon works, this is how the sun works, this is how psychedelics works, this is how you manipulate metal and then you can wage war. They were telling them all these things, and they were revered as the war god, the moon god, the sun god. And then polytheism has stemmed off of that, where hundreds and hundreds of years after the fact, people kept their oral traditions and it was passed down. That's where the polytheism really came from, if you ask me, right? Someone from Greece messaged me, emailed me way back in the day, and they were like, I heard you say Greek mythology. Just so you know, we don't teach Greek mythology as mythology. Here in Greece, we teach it as real history. And so that's pretty wild to really think about. So something's real going on here is what I'm trying to say. Something very real happened back in the day, and it's beyond this little physical finite interpretations that we have. You cannot put God in a box. You cannot put truth in a box. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. So yeah, there's that. And just to fully explain how the heliocentric model is a religion, they have to believe in the radius of the Earth to even come up with where their horizon should be. They have to believe in the shape. They have to believe in the motion. They have to believe in the size. They have to believe in the trajectories. They have to believe in the orbital trajectories of all the celestial bodies. They have to believe in dark matter and dark energy. They have to believe in a whole bunch of nonsense that's unsubstantiated, cannot be found anywhere in reality, has no proof, no evidence, and they constantly go out attacking people about their religion, sticking their chest out about their religion, swear up and down they know their religion's real. They don't even understand their own intricacies of their religion, but they know it's real. That's a telltale sign of indoctrination, right? You've been indoctrinated into your religious belief founded on nothing more than faith, on nothing more than ideals that coincide with your presupposition or interpretation of reality. And then you just stake your ground on that, void of any actual substance. That's what religion is. Okay, heliocentrism is a religion. From the beginning, it requires the acceptance of a reification fallacy, warped space-time, warped privation concept, curved space, a conceptual abstraction representing nothing. Okay, nothing, a privation, nothing cannot be curved. To even start your religion, you have to accept nonsense. And it's because it was designed that way. It's about inversion. It was designed about wizardry. That's what it is. It's wizardry. That's what it is. I I said, sorry, I didn't have time to like really compile because I worked a little earlier and then I had to catch up with some sleep, man, because I have not been getting much of it. All right, we'll just show you a little something of what I was talking about. This is one of the millions of examples of something that we'll be told about as a complete lie. Wow, dude, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna share the screen. I don't got time for this. See these guys. All right. Greek mythology. We're told that this all just comes from, and this is of course more modern representations of an ancient existence of these deities. But yeah, we're told that this is all just a lie, that Greek mythology has no bearing in reality. Yeah. So this is what the according to the scriptures, you know, this is just cartoons, but these people were real, bro, you know, and that's why, you know, modern Christianity is a religion. Modern Christianity is a religion because, for example, with these right here, I mean, we were told that this is all a lie. Look, it's even depicted as a cartoon, just like the movies Hercules. So this is the point I'm making to you is the reason that modern Christianity is a religion is because in Genesis 6 it says, you know, and there were giants on the earth in those days, men of old, men of renown. Okay, so very famous, giant, powerful people. That's what the scriptures say. That's what the Bible says. Yet people that believe in the religion of Christianity don't adhere to that. That's why I'm not a big fan of religion. 99% of Christians won't even accept my belief system, and I'm the one that's just letting it say what it says, right? Okay, and don't get me wrong, it does require some faith. It does require some faith. I can't go back in time and see these giants, okay? But all the evidence shows me that, bro. So if you truly seek, this is my interpretation, right? This is Whitsitt's interpretation of religion, okay? This is not the grabblers from Google's definition, right? If you truly seek truth, bro, and you're willing to set your bias aside and follow wherever the truth leads, no matter how insane it sounds at the time or how preposterous you may think it would be, if the evidence leads you there, you keep going there. You're truly seeking truth. You truly want a relationship with the one true creator. You want to do what's good. You want to do what's right. You want to promote logos. You want to represent logos, logic, order, what's good, right? If you do that, that, in my opinion, is what you should do, right? That is a true relationship with God, the creator, seeking truth. And if you're doing that, that isn't religious, because if you're truly seeking the truth, and as you're introduced to a plethora of new, potentially sometimes contradicting evidences, and you still accept them because they're true, right? Or you're willing to accept them, that's not religious. Okay, religion refuses to accept anything contradictory to their set in stone presuppositions of belief. Okay, and I can tell you, man, modern Christianity is flooded with Luciferians, whether they know it or not. And here's a little something that might make somebody uncomfortable, but I know for a fact that Satanists, Luciferians, they go into churches. They go into churches like a Christian church. They go up to the front, and when they're worshiping, they're like, yeah, praise God, praise God. But they're talking to their God. They also go into different churches and they try to present the preacher with a gift that they've put some kind of a spell on or a curse on, right? If you think all religion is stupid, you think this sounds like a bunch of fairy tales. I didn't make them go in there and worship Satan. I didn't make them put a spell on something, right? Truth is stranger than fiction. You have got to unplug from the box because you're being attacked on a metaphysical realm. And if you don't even know it's there, you have no chance to see through the wizardry. You have no chance to stand up against it. So that's kind of where I stand on all that, bro. And I just think it's important to readdress some of these things because I used to be there. I understand why people are there, like the Roman Catholic Church, right? The Roman Catholic Church from its very inception has been extremely corrupted. Like that, it was extremely corrupt from its inception. That's just objective, bro. They waged wars. They murdered all kinds of people. They controlled people with this ideological, uniform composition of belief systems. They combined the idea of Christianity, which they were called the Nazarenes. That's what they call themselves, the followers of Yeshua, Nazarenes. Romans made up the word Christian. Then they combined the belief systems of the polytheistic religion underneath the Roman Catholic Church, and then they combined it with the belief system of the Nazarenes, so he could control everybody. That's where you get the suffix ous from. Is from Zeus. It's from some form of deity representing Zeus. And people act like Christians will say that's a conspiracy theory or it's not real. Yes, it is. Yes, it is real. Okay, that's where you got it. They made it to where the polytheistic pagan culture would believe or be more prone to accepting the idea of this Jesus dude if they changed the suffix to make them think it had some kind of relation to their already in place polytheistic paganistic belief system of Zeus. That's what happened. His name was Yeshua. Is saying Jesus bad? No, God supersedes semantics, bro. But what I'm saying is everything's been corrupted. And this is why you have to, if you're being honest, bro, and you unplug from the box, you start to realize there must be something real here. Why such a concerted effort to lie about everything and to misrepresent the true story? If Yeshua was some crazy person, why you gotta lie about him? Why everyone in the world gotta lie about him and tell you he wasn't real and change his name and change what he taught and ignore what he taught and confuse you about what he taught and make you rebel against his laws and his rules? Why does he have metaphysical domain? There's something there, right? But that just because something's there, that doesn't mean that you didn't dive into this man-made, doctrine-founded belief system known as a religion. Christianity in the modern world is void of even like being honest about things. They won't even admit there were giants. Well, that's what your Bible says, okay? And I believe in the story of Enoch and the scriptures. I think the scriptures have been tainted, mistranslated, used for control, but there's truth in them. There's truth in them, okay? And we go back to the Aramaic scriptures to fully get a contextual understanding. Enoch tells you the full context that you should have. These people don't even know their true belief. It's because they're relying on men to tell them how to believe. It's stupid. Religion requires men's interpretation, right? So you get a man to interpret the idea of God, makes a doctrine, founds a religion, then people believe that man-made interpretation. That is what religion is, and they'll die defending it. Heliocentrism is, by definition, a religion. Men have misinterpreted the heavens. They have come up with all kinds of nonsensical assertions, and they want you to believe them based purely on faith and no evidence whatsoever. It is a belief system, but it's just such a massive wizardry spell. People don't even know what's going on. It's magic with a K. And so I guess my whole gist here is don't just believe things. Don't just believe things, right? Like don't look into the face of contradictory evidence and then double down, which like McGoon was trying to say, but that's what he was doing, right? All right, let me go check out Charles. Like I said, I just slept. I was sleeping, so I just went on a little topic I knew I could talk about. Yeah, see, I don't disagree with this, but we need to, like, just so everyone understands, I don't want people to misinterpret me here. Like, bro, I'm just trying to let y'all know what happened, bro. Like, we've been lied to about all of this. Why are there hundreds and hundreds? There's actually 4,200 religions. Okay, they cannot all be right. They can't be all right because they all contradict each other, bro. They can't all be right. So the question is, what is the truth, bro? And what you'll find out once you unplug from the box is the best way to find out the truth is to go directly to the source of whatever they're hiding from you. If they're lying to you and hiding something from you, that's where you go look. That's exactly where you go look. They're hiding and censoring flat earth. People should be, if they're unplugged from the box, they go look at flat earth, right? Whatever they're censoring from you, that's what they don't want you to know. That's where the truth is, where the truth is within that, okay? So the true belief is that God made everything, okay? There were angels. They saw creation. They were jealous of creation. They wanted to come down. This is the true story, and then we're going to compare it to the religion of Christianity. You know, I know this isn't for everyone, but this is just my topic tonight, bro, right? We just ladle gravy. I just randomly thought of it. So Enoch tells you, which Enoch is supposed should have been the first book, but it was removed from the Bible, the canonized text, as other books have been. So anyway, the angels saw the humans. They were jealous. They wanted to have sex with them. They wanted to have sex with the women. They wanted to have the physicality of what humans have, because it's just like, well, human nature, right? Not in this scenario, it wouldn't be human nature, but it's just like natural. Everyone wants what they can't have, right? It's just like if there's this really pretty girl at the bar, everyone's hitting on her, and you're just chilling. She comes over there, and y'all kind of start talking, but you don't really care that you're the one she wants to be with. Okay, everyone wants what they can't have, or yeah, that's what it is. So humans envy angels. They're like, you're already immortal. You know for a fact that God is real. You know for a fact he's real. You're right there beside him, and you can fly, and you're immortal, and that sounds awesome. There's no confusion. You know exactly who God is. He's right there. They look at it like, I don't even have the free choice to find out if God's real or not myself. I'm forced to know that he's real. I'm not allowed to have this physical thing, this physical interaction where I can go have sex on earth and have babies. They're always going to want what they can't have. And the angels wanted what the humans had. They came down to get it, to attain it. Okay, they came down, they had sex with the women. The women bore giants. Typically, the stories go, they died during their birth because they were birthing giants. Okay, and then these giants grew up, and everyone knew that their parents were gods, so they revered the Nephilim as gods as well. They continued to spread out across the world. This is real history. They continued to spread out across the world and take domain over different geographical locations. They had different armies, different civilizations, different polytheistic belief systems. They all just wanted to be revered as gods themselves. That's the Nephilim, who came from the Watchers. Okay, and they taught men all of these mystical things. Look, I know this sounds crazy, dumb human, but I promise you there's power in your words, and you can cast spells on people. You can perform magic. You can perform wizardry. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like, what? Well, they didn't even question them again, because they were giants, right? And their parents, the ones that gave birth to them or created them, were immortal, right? They were in their immortal form. But they taught them all these things. It's just like humans today. It's like there's nothing new under the sun, dude. The same thing's happening right now. If you try to tell the average human, the average fluoridated, mind-numb zombie human, that there's power in your word so much so that you can cast spells and magic's real and sorcery's real, they're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you're dumb. But it is real. They came down and they told the humans about the magic, about the sorcery, about the psychedelic drugs, about all of the intricacies of the sky. Right? You can predict the sky. The sky does the same thing, but here's why. And they lied to them about why or what it was, but they did give them truths that would have taken humans a lot longer to figure out. They taught them how to find metals, manipulate them for war, how to kill a baby. You know, they showed them how to perform abortion. They showed them women how to use makeup. They showed them all kinds of stuff. They were revered as gods, and then they would wage war against each other because they wanted to be the best god, right? And so the Nephilim are waging wars against each other. They're utilizing humans for their slave labor to bring them food. Their thirst became insatiable. They started eating the humans. Their sensual thirst became insatiable. They started having sex with animals. That sounds crazy, but that's maybe now you understand why all these ancient civilizations depicted hybrid animal pharaohs, right? Crocodile human pharaohs, eagle pharaohs, you know, eagle human pharaohs, bear humans. There's all kinds of crazy depictions throughout history of hybrids, and they don't make sense, and they're always giant. And they're like, wow, these people are just making stuff up. These guys were really found some ayahuasca, you know what I'm saying? They started making stuff up, but maybe it's just real, bro, and you've been lied to about it. So Christianity isn't even really what the belief is supposed to be at all. It has no context, okay? Yeshua was asked by the Sadducees about if he's like, Moses says if a husband dies, then the brother's supposed to take the wife. What if that happens 7 times? Jesus, Son of God, because they were mocking him. They wanted to prove he wasn't actually the Son of God. They're like, what happens when he dies, and it happens 7 times? So which one of those brothers takes the wife in heaven? And Jesus said, you know not the scriptures nor the power of God, for there is not marriage in heaven. You are like that of the angels. Well, there and none of the scriptures compiled before, I believe that's in Matthew, but it was one of the Gospels, before Jesus was asked about that, and none of the Old Testament at all is anything about marriage in heaven mentioned or explained. And he said, you know not the scriptures. Well, where was that explained in the scriptures? It's in Enoch. Enoch tells you that. Yeshua knew Enoch was scripture. He revered Enoch as scripture. How can you be a Christian when your entire belief system is revolved around Yeshua, Jesus, and then he thought that Enoch was scripture, and you just want to ignore that because it tells you that there were watchers? It tells you something you don't want. You can't put God in a box. You can't put the truth in a box, bro. It is what it is. I didn't write it. I didn't make history happen. We're just telling you what happened, bro. Okay? Enoch was removed from you. It was supposed to be the first book of the Bible. It gave you context to understand the Bible. You want to know why you can't understand the Old Testament? This is the biggest trick of the devil, bro. This is the biggest trick of the devil ever. This is how he's gotten everyone to hate Christianity, and reasonably so. Let's be honest, reasonably so. Okay, I've had a experience that I don't really want to go in detail about that made me hate the idea of Christians. Oh, you're a preacher? You're a preacher? And he, let's just say he had to go away for some years because there's so much corruption and disconnection from God. There's so much gossiping and belittling and hatred that comes from the church. And don't get me wrong, tons of people in the church, tons of Christians are like some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. But we're just talking about why people are so disconnected from the belief system. It's because of all the hatred. It's because of all the hypocrisy. It's because people don't even believe their own religion. They don't even know their own religion. They don't even believe in chapter 6 of Genesis. And then whenever some non-Christian that does know about Enoch comes and goes and asks one of these preachers or whatever, they will just shut them down, tell them not to talk, tell them that's not canonized, oh, heretic, or you're heretical, and all this crazy nonsense. It's like you just don't even know the truth, bro. You don't even know your own actual belief system. It's a religion, right? And their religion is this certain version of Christianity where they don't want Enoch, but they think they already know that the canon is perfect, and that's what a religion is. A religion is turning your head to contradictory evidence. Right? Religion is not accepting the possibility that you didn't know it all. A religion is, thinking you know exactly what everything is, no matter what truth is presented. And it requires immensity of belief without evidence. God's not leaving you hanging, bro. God's not having you wandering on the earth like with no evidence. That isn't how it works. Okay? That's how the atheists and the agnostics want to paint it to you. That's how it works, but it isn't how it works. It isn't how it works. And not to throw the agnostics under the bus like that. Let's just say atheists, because at least in agnosticism, you're acknowledging that there could be a God, or maybe you're acknowledging that there is a God. You just don't know exactly what it is or who it is. See, that's reasonable. That's honest. That's logical. That's not, atheism is retarded. Okay. You have to deny the fingerprint of God. Ask them to explain the Fibonacci sequence or DNA. God is undeniably real, bro. And I'm just trying to let y'all know, I haven't known about Enoch forever. I had to go research it, bro, and read it and then correlate it to the scriptures, okay? I didn't just read Enoch. I'm like, this sounds like a cool story. I'm going to say it's part of the Bible. No, it fits perfectly with the scriptures. And you have to understand not all the scriptures are even there. They've been mistranslated. Even parts of the books we do have, they've taken things out of it. There's been a very meticulous effort to misrepresent the belief system revolved around Yeshua. And there has to be a reason for that, because there wasn't a very meticulous effort or concerted effort to misrepresent any other religion. It's just that one. So that's how open-minded, agnostic, not religious Austin looked at it. And then I went and viewed it without bias. I started doing research and I found out, wow, we're being lied to. History is much crazier than we would think. Okay. I used to read the Old Testament and be like, you're murdering entire civilizations. I'm good. Kill every woman and children. All the women and children. What? And then I believe the lies about promoting rape and all that stuff. That isn't true. Promoting slavery. That isn't true. It isn't true. But my point is, I believed it. And my point is, why are those lies propagated? If it's all a lie and it's a fairy tale, why do you have to lie about it? It's just a fairy tale. You wouldn't. And then the more you unplug from the box, the more you do research, you find out, oh, the people that run this world, they believe in Lucifer. So you see how these are intertwined. You're starting to connect the dots here. And I know everyone thinks they know everything. Everyone thinks they know everything about what God is. They think that they figured out the truth. They have their names. They're like, oh, no, I know this and that and this and that. I'm just telling you, bro, there's only one story that fully explains history. There's only one story, okay? And it's that the Watchers came down. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it. But they're going to tell you that aliens did it. Right? They can't hide this truth forever. Archaeological discoveries aren't coinciding with their postulations when it comes to the historicity of this earth. So they're making things up. They're going to tell you that aliens came down. Oh, yeah, they were alien to this world, all right. Okay? But they don't want you to know the truth, bro. I'm just letting you know that there is some truth here. There's something that you need to go look into. Do not believe me. This is what this whole stream's about. Don't just believe me. You know, like, go look into what I'm telling you, though. That's what I want you to do. And if you re-examine the history with the contextual understanding, or at least the contextual understanding of the possibility of these Watchers, then you start to make it. Then you start to see a difference. Okay, and everyone wants to argue theological discussions. I'm not doing it. I don't care about your theological discussions or your intricacies or what you want to argue about. Okay, Christians want to ignore Enoch, and Yeshua said Enoch was scripture. End of story. Doesn't matter how you twist it, do backflips because you don't want to admit it, because maybe you're a preacher, maybe you're this and that. You don't want to admit it. I didn't make it. I didn't write it. I'm just telling you it's there. It was hidden from you. The Roman Catholic Church gave a decree to remove the Book of Enoch from the face of the earth. Why would you have to do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? If you're the Roman Catholic Church, okay, and you believe in Jesus, and what you changed the suffix to his name, but it's all good because God supersedes semantics. There's definitely power in the name of Jesus. I've experienced it myself. So I'm not saying that. I'm just explaining. Okay, so you believe in Jesus, but you find it necessary to remove one of the books that he referred to as scripture. And not only do you just want to remove it from your little compiled book that you're going to force onto the masses, but you want to remove it from the face of the earth. That means it's not just men that are using religion. That's the devil, bro. That's Lucifer himself using that organization to try to dilute the truth. The devil isn't dumb. He's just a gamma. Okay. He definitely is going to find a way to give you a version of the truth of Yeshua and then taint it. That's what the Roman Catholic Church is. If this offends you, bro, hey, bro, I just ladle gravy, you know? And I know a lot of people that say they ladle gravy, but they don't sift through this gravy. They go right over this topic because it's controversial. But dude, I don't care. Okay? You can disagree with me, but this is important, bro. And it's life-changing. You have to actually be willing to accept the possibility of it. And I'm not saying I know everything. I don't at all, bro. But I'm telling you, the Roman Catholic Church removed that book for a reason. And that book claims to be the first one. And then you read Moses writing Genesis, and he just skips over the giants. And you're like, what? Did you just say there were giants? How are you casually breezing through there being giants? Giants? Am I the only one reading this? And then humans that are religious and overly religious zealots that think they already know everything, they swoop in and they start making up nonsense, lying. That's what they're doing. The Sethite theory. No. It says giants that came from fallen angels. That's what it says. You want to make up Sethite theory where they just came from Seth and they were big. No. They weren't just 7-8 feet tall. That isn't what the Bible says. It's not what the scriptures say. That's not what the belief is. The fallen angels came down, had sex with women, and they bore giants. If you say you believe in the Bible, that's what you believe in, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. That's what happened. That's what happened. These people don't even believe their own religion. They are religious. They are religious. That is not, don't be like that, okay? Don't be like that, because that is a detriment to love and honor and truth and logos. Those are all characteristics of God. And so if you're acting in the opposition to that, I don't care if you've went to ministry for 30 years and learned all about the religious doctrine. If you're not willing to admit and humble yourself that maybe you don't know everything, just like I don't, just like no one does. We just have to learn the truth. We have to be willing to let God introduce us to new information, bro. We've been lied to. We live in the end season, at least. It certainly appears that way. We live in the time of things being revealed. Massive lies are being uncovered. It's not a coincidence. And one of them is Enoch, okay? So pray about it. I did. Have you? Right? Because I get attacked by preachers and for these conversations. I get attacked by preachers and Christians And it's like, have you actually prayed about it? Have you prayed for discernment and wisdom about the Book of Enoch? Have you prayed about it? Have you actually read it? Have you cross-referenced it to all the scriptures? Have you actually reread the Old Testament with contextual understanding that Enoch provides you? Or do you just think you already know? And it just, dude, this is just, I'm basically attacking my own in a way, but that's just what I do, right? It's like, what do you think that's going on in the Old Testament? Like, you have to shuck and jive to explain this away without the introduction of the watchers. And that just shows you the links that people will go to defend this, bro. It's like, chill, bro. It's all good. But if there was a book that Yeshua, who was very real, definitely had a following, definitely performed miracles, that the people that hated him called sorcery, definitely was murdered for no reason, definitely his tomb was empty. So he was real, performed miracles. These are objective. He was real, performed miracles, was crucified for a crime he didn't commit or for no crime, and then his tomb was empty. Those are all objective, and dozens of people claim to see him resurrected. That's what happened. Those are not even debated by atheist historians. Most of these atheist people will dispute that right there because they don't know what they're talking about. They're part of a religion called atheism. The religion of atheism requires more faith than any other religion, because you're having to say that randomness, which is your deity, right, has created DNA in the Fibonacci sequence, sacred geometry throughout all creation. Okay, bro, good luck with that one. That's all right. I got a little worked up about this. Just wait till I finish the bang. Let me see what we got here. What's going on? I just see random pictures without any plan. And I'll come check y'all out what y'all are saying on this. We gotta do something about this light, bro. Look at this stuff. Okay. What I'm gonna do, I know I got a little worked up, right? Some people that would be good for, like this little spill of monologue I'm doing. Maybe someone heard that and they're like, whoa, I never thought of that. But some people need to be shaken with assertion, bro, right? So I guess that's where I come in. But just to like a 30-second understanding before I'm not planning this. I just typed in ancient mythologies. We're just going to look through these things, re-look through them with the contextual understanding of what I just said, right? Entertain the possibility of what I just said. Now re-look at history, because you've been lied to about all of it, bro. You've been disconnected from it. You think that we're the most advanced. You think that we've seen things that no one's ever seen. You think that this little iPhone is a real big deal. You think this is a big deal, right? You think that we are way more advanced, know way more than anyone else. We live in the age of information, that everyone back in the day was primitive, that all these people come up with fantastic religions, don't even know, but I'm spiritually enlightened. We think that everyone was stupid, everyone's dumb, that they were primitive, they don't know what they're talking about. They made up these fantastical representations of religious beliefs, okay, because it was just primitive, dumb humans attempting to explain God with the tools they had at the time. And they made up all this nonsense. And you've been told that they didn't have any of this stuff. You've been told that they were primitive. You've been told that they built the pyramids with slave labor, 24/7 slave labor over the course of 30 years with pulley systems. You've been told all kinds of nonsense. And it's not a coincidence, okay? The very power structure, like all education stems from two publishing companies, right? All the textbooks come from two companies. They're obviously owned by the grapplers, so they are misguiding all of humanity. And the question is, why? Okay, like, why do you have to lie about all of this? Because there's something very real going on. It's a metaphysical battle, and there's nothing new under the sun. And it's a battle for your soul, bro. So I want you to know that you have a soul. And if you do know you have a soul, that isn't the end of it. You need to make sure that you pursue logos, bro. you need to make sure you protect your soul against the wizardry. So I know this is kind of heavy stream, but what you gonna do? All right, let's check this stuff out. Actually, let me change this to this. Actually, let me check with y'all for a second. Oh, okay, I see. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wow. Yeah, Stargates are crazy, bro. I'll discuss that a little bit. I still need to I need to watch more of Stellium. What's up? My man Bob's in here. What's up, everybody? Love, bro. And I know a lot of these people I know y'all might not agree with all the intricacies of what I think, but I'm still on a journey, bro. Right? Like I'm still learning these things. Like we're talking about examining history, bro, and not just history that's been hidden from you. Right? So it's not easy. We need each other, bro. And that's why like Discord's so awesome. Get on there and you just talk to people that have been researching things and you figure it out. We need each other, bro. We need to keep pursuing truth. And we are living in the time of things being revealed. That's awesome. There's nothing to be scared about, but they're getting everyone scared. Coronavirus, terrorist attacks. Every year there's a new flu epidemic. There's a new terrorist attack. There's a new terrorist group with nuclear weapons. There's always trying to scare you. Oh, the economy might crash. Let it crash. Let it burn, bro. It's all a lie. It's all a scam anyway. Let it crash, bro. If you don't have God, then you're scared. You're gonna be scared. If you have God, you know there's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to fear, bro. And I just want you to know that God's real, bro. Yeah, there you go. If from what I've gathered, demons are disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, because the Nephilim, they could never, that's the one group of people that never really had a chance, right? Because they came from the rebellious watchers. Now, technically, they do have a chance, right? God would have still forgave them, because if you read Enoch like begged God to go talk to the watchers. He's like, come on, let me give them a chance. He's like, they're not going to listen, Enoch. He's like, come on, please, please, please. He's like, they're not going to listen. And I don't want to talk to them. And he's like, just let me go, mediate on your behalf and see if I can talk to some reason with them. He's like, okay, if you insist, Enoch, go ahead. And he goes and talks to the giants, to the Nephilim that were revered as gods. They were revered as gods on earth. And he's like, hey, trying to talk to him about, turning to God, turning away from their sinful lifestyles and stop corrupting humankind. And they laughed at him. They're like, yeah, okay, because they were born and then considered gods from their birth. They had humans bringing them whatever they wanted to eat, all the women doing whatever they wanted. They constantly were revered as gods. And they laughed at Enoch. They mocked him. They made fun of him, but they never touched him, because they knew that he was elect in the sight of God, right? But what I'm saying is those people, the Nephilim weren't going to turn to God. Their parents, if you will, were the watchers, the rebellious watchers, and they were considered gods all across the world, which is where you get all of these belief systems from. So maybe you're taking the gravy in right now. These aren't all random. Polytheism is not random. Okay? So yeah, that's my point. But really, if you cross-reference the scriptures, Nephilim demons are the disembodied spirits of Nephilim. That's not the same as the watchers, right, who are already in their eternal form, right? And the demons, the disembodied spirits, are powerless. They just wander around in the metaphysical realm, not having any emotion, any recollection, no purpose, right? That's what the scriptures say. So they can only mess with you, these evil entities or whatever you want to call them, if you invite them in and you allow them to. That's why I kind of caution people getting into the realm of astral projection, because those coincide. That's where those they intersect. The metaphysical reality intersects somewhere around there. Rob Skiba is a very good authority on the Nephilim and the Book of Enoch. I really hope he gets his production completed of Seed. Yeah, I'm a big Rob Skiba fan. I haven't watched him in a long time. But y'all should definitely go check out Rob Skiba. And like he said, he does do good work on Enoch and the Nephilim. Much more extensive than I have or I'm doing, you know. But for me, just reading the Book of Enoch put a lot of pieces together and cross-referencing it to the Bible and then rethinking about history. All these very famous stories. Oh, that's awesome, bro. I'll be like, I want to meet y'all and Rob. I want to meet a lot of people. And it's none of the people that like most people would want to meet, you know. Like most people want to meet like J-Lo or something stupid like nah. I just want to meet I'll stick with the Globe Busters panel. Oh, what's up, Rob, Skiba, the legends, slaying wizards, you know, the flat earth community. I'd rather meet real ones. This is where the Watchers came down for sure. Sorry, I guess I went on a rant. I didn't really notice that I had not read any of the comments. I can't disagree with this right here. So, yeah, I know, but dude, we live in a time of brain numb zombies. So, all right, now that I got all that out, and we kind of get a little contextual understanding of what happened, right? These Watchers came down, had sex with women. Of course, the Watchers were considered gods. The star people, all the ancient civilizations wrote about them. So you know, I personally, I don't care what you think about this. Okay, because if they were more advanced than us and they wrote about them, maybe it's real. Maybe they know more than what you're regurgitating from your Schofield Bible ministry school that has been corrupted by men. That tells you you don't worry about the tribulation or the end times or staying true to the end because you're going to magically be taken away and nothing to worry about. But it's not even in the Bible, bro. It's not even in the Bible. So it's retarded. Men, and that's why there's something especially important about Christianity. I know you think I'm biased. No, that's just why I've migrated towards the belief system of Yeshua. And of course, I have personal anecdotal relationship and or experiences that support that you can't explain away. But I'm gonna do a whole stream on Yeshua a few weeks from now. I don't want to like get over the top with this topic, you know what I'm saying? But my point is like, why such the concerted effort like in the late 1800s to completely derail the true interpretation of the scriptures? Right. And then all these Christians that say that Enoch we can't read Enoch because it's not part of the canon. Okay. Did you know that your canon wasn't even the same just a little bit ago? It had the Apocrypha in it. The original King James Version had the Apocrypha in it, a list of books that's been removed, typically about the end. So they're like, you're saying that God wouldn't keep his books intact? No, I'm saying men have corrupted the compilation of the scriptures. So which one is it? Did God not care up until here in the late 1800s? Then he decided to care? It's inconsistent. It's a consistent. It's a consistency fallacy. It's retarded. It's hypocrisy. Everyone wants to believe that whatever they have right now is the right one, bro. We've all been tricked. Okay, humanity's been tricked. It's way bigger than you. It's way bigger than your church. There's that. So you see where I'm at. And this is one thing that we do. I'm pretty sure we live in the end, but we live in I like to say we live in the times of things being revealed. And when you speak truth, the way you'll know that you're over the mark, you're going to get attacked by everybody. So all the atheists are going to hate me. A bunch of the agnostics are going to hate me, thinking that I'm arrogant, claiming I know, which I'm not saying I know everything. And then the Christians aren't going to like me because I'm undermining the modern version of the belief system. So when you speak the truth, you're not going to be liked by everybody, right? Like some flat earthers don't like me because I like to make a point to kind of explain the intricacies of gravity more importantly than just saying density, right? And then, of course, the globe earthers don't like me. But it doesn't matter. Just speak the truth, bro. Let the chips fall where they may. Now, what's my opinion on the Mandela effect? I don't know enough about it to really even talk about it. So, Is it out of the realm of possibilities? No, maybe not. Maybe there's some metaphysical rituals they can do, but I don't think that they would be real concerned with stuff like changing words. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't. For me personally, like if I can find a whole bunch of words that I don't remember being the same, I just don't know what the end game there is. Like I have an end game motivation for exposing the heliocentric religion and the lies within, because it's detaching people from creation. It's the mass awakening we need as a human people, right? I have motivation for bringing up Enoch and explaining we've been lied to about the Bible and the true story of history, because we need to know that so we can see what's coming as Deception 2.0. I don't know exactly how far I can go exposing the Mandela effect. I don't know the source of it, the cause of it, or if it's even actually a thing, right? So personally, that's my take on it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't know. No, I don't like to say anything's impossible. We live in a world where there's a metaphysical battle going on. But if the Mandela effect is real, then we're just noticing the little change in words and stuff. That's just got to be like some small little side effect of whatever bigger is going on, because it just doesn't really add up to me, and I don't want to really like stay distracted. I think that I have two big things on my plate here: to let people know God's real and we've been lied to about the real story of Yeshua, and let's relook into it, and that we've been lied to about the very nature of this earth we live in, and is used to disconnect you from the creator, and to disconnect you from free energy and just a harmony on earth. They don't want us to all work together and love each other, right? Those two things alone is a big my motivation, right? So I don't like to get too sidetracked. There's nothing that I won't talk about, right? But I just don't know anything about like with the Mandela effect. I've heard some pretty compelling arguments, right? Like I've thought about it myself, like, whoa, what is that? Like, I don't remember that. Like, let's think of them. I don't want to get into them, but yeah, I've heard some. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's very. Now here's my take. If it's real, it could potentially be, since the Watchers got released, it could be one of their many tactics to kind of just get us in a state of confusion, right? And that's why I think, honestly, feeding too much into it might be part of their plan. They want us to notice these little differences so we can get real confused and not know what's going on. They need us in a state of confusion because Lucifer is the master of deception and the author of confusion, right? So I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. Now, if someone wants to tell me about the Mandela effect and then with some proposed solutions or thorough interpretations of the motivations or the source, that would be more so down my alley. You know what I'm saying, or whatever you say. I don't know, but that's kind of my take. That's where I stand on it. I'm definitely not dismissing people that talk about Mandela as crazy or dumb. No, I've heard some pretty legitimate situations, bro. I personally, I think it's a futile pursuit, is what I'm saying. Yeshua is Jesus. Yeshua that's his real name, Yeshua HaMashiach, right? And they changed his name. They lied to you about him. It's all on purpose, but I used to think he was kind of a fairy tale. He historically existed 100%. I've done a debate on this. I think it's on Facebook where I debated the historicity of Yeshua. But Josephus, Tacitus, there's tons of people. So yeah, he definitely existed. He definitely was crucified for something he didn't do. He definitely performed miracles. It was definitely got super, super dark in the middle of the day when he was crucified, and his tomb was definitely empty, and people definitely saw him. Those are all objective historical facts. It doesn't matter what anyone says about it at all, right? The only thing you can dispute is he actually defined, right? That's the argument. Okay, so the argument is, or did he actually resurrect, or was there some massive plan to just take him out of his tomb? And then all these people correlated with their testimonies and lied about it, or they all had simultaneous hallucinations. Like, who's going out on a limb now? But yeah, that's Yeshua. Definitely real, 100% real. He existed. Like, there's no doubt about it. 99% of atheist historians won't even debate that. So that's Yeshua. Yeshua HaMashiach. We've been lied to about his name. We've been lied to about what really happened. I don't know. I don't know about that one. See, that's why I don't even like. I feel like if it is real, it's endless, bro. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna go as far as to say it's a distraction because I think a lot of the people I know, some of them personally, bro, they're like truly trying to seek the truth. So I would be thrilled to introduce you and to Bob. That would be awesome, bro. Rob and Sheila. That'd be awesome, bro. That dude can ladle the gravy, Bob. That would be really cool. Yeah. Well, the way that you do that is you get a massive number of people to unplug from the box. You don't have to even get them to believe everything that's going on or to know everything. They don't have to be right about everything. They just have to be. If we could get the collective consciousness unplugged from the box, we win. Because you don't have to convince everyone that they're not this little tiny speck of dust spinning 1,040 miles per hour, 66,600 miles per hour, defying the basic laws of physics in which water forms convex over the spherical exterior of an object, right? You don't have to get them to understand that that's all a lie and that they don't live on a cartoon CGI ball that's only been left by Masons, but you need to get them to unplug from the box. Then they'll see, okay, yeah, this religion. Like, dude, there were people that watched that debate last night and then have been bombarding me saying that I lost. Okay, they're just in the box, bro. If you watch that without bias, you see, or if you actually understand, and you're like, he lost. I wasn't going down his coefficient road. No, 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 no. What type of refraction? Downward refraction. Okay. How do you derive the coefficient refraction, right? Do you have to put 7/6R? Because now you're increasing the radius of your Earth, bro. The Earth doesn't just grow when you can't explain observations. Okay. And then just like Bob asked, what are the variables? He couldn't even answer them. What's the temperature? What's the barometric pressure? What's all of these variables? I wasn't going down his wizardry trail, I don't have to get sidetracked on that. I'm just saying people watch that and think that I lost. There are people telling me that I got obliterated and that I'm an idiot. I think I could have done better a few moments. I could have called his begging the question out more thoroughly, or I could have just dismantled the coefficient thing better, but I didn't lose at all. He couldn't answer any of my questions. There are people that think I lost. That's the whole point. You can't do anything about that. If they unplug from the box and then rewatch the debate, they'll see what happened. So you have to get people to unplug from the box. It's not really about convincing people of what I think or what you believe. It's about getting them to re-examine things, to be honest enough to swallow their pride and be like, maybe I should re-look at everything. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, what did I say? It's a super prolific lumtastic refraction. There's actually 17 types of horizons. You need to look them up, and if none of those work, we'll add some more because that's how physical physical reality works, right? It just alters and changes based on your presuppositions of a belief system. Dun dun dun. All right, bro, let's get into the gravy. Let's just look. This is unplanned, but I'm sure this will still be pretty interesting. India, Persia, Babylon. I'll show this picture a day. Pretty interesting. You see the this half human lion bird looking thing, and then you see what looks just like most of the depictions of Nimrod. And maybe y'all should look into the idea of Nimrod being, if you will, the first Antichrist. Here, what's this? What is this, guys? Oh, they were just making that up. That's just art. That's not real because there's no way that could ever be real. So this is just all a lie. Or maybe that really happened. That's wild. They were waging all kinds of wars against each other because they wanted to be the best god, right? So there were different Nephilim giants. They had different armies that were comprised of different types of creatures, and they went and partaked in these crazy, violent wars. It was just destruction and an attempt to be the best god. And we're told about these giant wars throughout the scriptures if you know how to read them. And that's why I encourage everyone to get the Genesis 6 conspiracy and to listen to Rob Skiba, to read the Book of Enoch, yourself and to correlate the scriptures, then you'll start to understand what really happened in history, bro. It's not like all these giants were just running around skipping, holding hands, bro. No. There was constant war and battle to be the number one deity. Look at this thing. That's a snake and another snake. I wonder why they were so obsessed with snakes in Egyptian mythology. I think we all know the answer to that question. And look at behind them on the wall, how they wrote. We used to act like we were taught everything we taught was backwards, because that's a metaphysical tactic, right? They can convince you the direct inversion of the truth, and then that's successful sorcery. But and we discussed that in wizardry. But you see, we were taught that they just drew pictures because they were so dumb that they just drew pictures. Imagine how much more efficient it is if each little symbol means like a whole phrase or something, right? It's just like Hebrew, like each little character is like a whole word. It's a way more efficient way. And then the mind gravy I came across was the idea of someone's proposed the idea that when you're born, you speak Hebrew, and then it's basically taught out of you. Like it's they take you coming out the womb speaking Hebrew, and they get you to speak something else. Now I haven't looked into that a lot, but that's just a pretty wild idea to kind of, you're just speaking really poor Hebrew when you're first born. That's wild if that's true. And that's why all these languages were created, right? And of course, the story is the Tower of Babel broke up into languages because they were trying to build up to the firmament to get to God and take over heaven. What is this? See, this is crazy. This is something like, I'm nerdy. So something that I would have loved to do for part of my life is for some years go to like Egypt and just study all of this. But you're not even allowed to do that. Like the history, the anthropology or the archaeology of Egypt is so heavily censored. You couldn't even find the truth. But what I'm saying, I was thinking it'd be cool to kind of understand the context of this picture. For example, who is this woman? Maybe that's like their religious deity. Are these all giants? Because we don't have a frame of reference to compare them to other sized people. But there were definitely giant women, I think. Oh, to kind of bring this, let's just bring in a little bit of unrelated gravy real fast. I'm about to hit the timer on the chat if you don't chill, bro. Let me see if I can find this picture because it's wild. So you saw that woman, right? And I think that a lot of us, I used to kind of be like this too because I just never thought about it. We just kind of assume that the giants were men, right? Like these powerful, godly Nephilim giant men. And this was brought up in Discord. This is at the most recent Nobel meeting. I don't want to misquote exactly what it was, but it was like a Nobel. Yeah, it was a meeting about the Nobel Prize, I believe. Something to that effect. But anyway, very powerful people. This was the most recent one. Now look at it. If you look very closely, which isn't a great picture because I can't zoom in, but if you look closely, this is a woman. This is called the Queen of like Marinin or something like that. And that's a female. She's a giant. You can see it out at the top. It looks just like the Masonic compass. This is flooded in symbology. As above, so below. You see the hand on the viewers on our left is up, and then her other hand is down. And it seems like what's below is illuminated. Whatever's in her hand, this little temple-looking thing, is illuminated. There's a city in her lap. This is just a crazy symbolic picture. And then all these really powerful people were here very recently. So what are they doing? You know, what's the metaphysical historical importance of this deity? What exactly does she represent? Is this Baphomet, where it looks like a dude but it's supposed to be a girl, right? Because it looks like a dude, but they say it's the queen of whatever. And of course we know Baphomet's a tranny gamma, so maybe that's what this is representing. I don't really know, but I thought that was pretty wild. coincide that with the idea that we always kind of interpreted, at least I did, giants as being like gigantic men. But maybe they were. There's also giant women. It would be logical, right? Like if they had kids, they could be boy or girl, right? So giant women, very possibly. I don't know. Because I believe I've read somewhere that one of the big things they would do is like these giants would have sex out in the open, and then all of the civilizations would rush out to watch it, and they thought it was awesome, right? And they would obviously be performing sodomy too in front of everybody. Or maybe they were having heterosexual sex too. I know that's a little graphic, maybe a little too much for some people, bro. Whatever. That's just some gravy for you to get context of what was going on. Everyone was obsessed with these giants. Whatever they did, they were just obsessed with them, and they wanted to get a little bit of their knowledge, a little bit of their approval, because humans are weak when they don't have anything to live for, or when they're detached from the fact that they're super important and created. We're more impressive than you giants, right? Because God made us the way we are. We're in the image of God. We're pure genetically. We don't need your watcher DNA. Moving on. So yeah, just because I thought that was kind of wild to put that in context of this. Okay, that was trash. So yeah, maybe this girl's a giant spiritual leader from back in the day. And then look at these people that are lined up. What is this on the table, bro? Maybe a giant flower. But look at all these creatures. We got like this little dog-looking human. We got this bird-looking human, dog-looking human. Then this dude just looks like a human. I don't know. This guy looks like a fox almost. So pretty crazy that one of the most advanced civilizations in history, undeniably, this is what they said was going on. So I'm gonna listen to them, not the grabbler authors of history. Of course, we've all seen stuff like this about the mythologies of Greece. Maybe just giant humans, the Titans. I really want to watch Stellium. Go show some love to Stellium. Stell. Here, I'll link his channel, because he, just like how articulate he came in explaining some of this stuff, he's a legend. And I've watched a little bit of his work, but I've been real busy. I haven't got to see a lot of it, but definitely go support him, because he's not just talking about stuff, he's actually going out and doing it. So go show my dude some love and give him a sub. Hopefully y'all can click on that. Yeah. All right, cool. Let me talk with y'all for a second. Yeah, but the Q thing might just be a distraction to make you think that we're revolting. We'll see. No, I'm sorry, bro. I'm just speaking what I feel to be true, bro. This is what caused God to repent, and he created man, and we are there again with genetic modification hybrids. God to repent? I don't know, man. That's why I haven't been just all up in the chat, because I know that this is probably like a somewhat controversial. Everyone's got their own interpretations or belief. But I will just say, if you haven't even gotten to where there were giants, you're not there yet. You're not there yet. That's all I'll say. Let's just keep looking at real history with real interpretations. What is this? That's pretty crazy looking right there. Just imagine this world where giant animal creatures lived and fought, and We were told about dinosaurs. There's some truth to that, in my opinion. There were giant creatures, but there weren't dinosaurs the way they've told us what they are. And billions of years of biodecomposition create this oil that you need us for, and is non-renewable and powers everything. That's all nonsense. Giant. That's a giant being worshipped. Oh, that's just cartoon mythical. Oh, okay, well maybe it's not. Maybe this stuff existed, bro. Maybe you just think you know everything. Look at that. That's crazy looking. We've all seen this. Yeah, maybe that's real, guys. Maybe that really was worshipped. Like y'all may think that this is crazy or that they're dumb, right? Or how would you ever worship that? Well, yeah, let's see you see a gigantic human elephant that knows everything. And then we'll listen to what you had to say about it. And the deception will be so great in the end that if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived, and the days must be shortened because no flesh would survive. So the days will be shortened for the elect's sake. Oh, but don't worry, because according to some men that can't even truly understand things for themselves, we won't even be here. So there's nothing to worry about. Look at this giant naked gamma on the ground with a little secret king. They're all worshiping him. Pretty crazy picture. We've all seen this picture, right? There's a picture where it's got the stars in her. And so the idea is that she is the firmament because they knew there was a firmament. Oh, no big deal. Literal beings from another realm with all kinds of metaphysical understanding and knowledge, way beyond that of a finite human, came down and said there was a firmament. But hey, Neil deGrasse Tyson says that there isn't one, even though he can't debate the counterpart of the argument. So yeah, whatever. We'll just forget the fact that the necessary antecedent to gas pressure is a physical container, and we'll just go listen to people like Mattoon do his little wizardry, shuck and jives. He was sitting there just dancing last night, bro. We should have just played music the whole time he talked. So yeah, I mean, we could go forever on this. I just thought this was pretty interesting. What is that? What is that? And dude, it's becoming mainstream now that there were aliens back in the day, bro. So you can live in your bubble and convince yourself that none of this is real as long as you want to, but it's going to come out in the mainstream here soon. So you need to have some discernment before that happens. Of course, if you know the Earth is flat, you're not going to go listen to ancient aliens and think it's a credible source. But they're not just making that stuff up; it has truth in it. That's how you trick people, right? Every good lie has a little bit of truth in it, and so it's called damage control. Well, they got giant dogs. They got these birds just coming and kicking it. They got pretty women everywhere, and then these giant men who are being worshipped by them. And they're not just men. They have the head of a bird. They have the head of, I guess this would be a dog. That's some crazy looking stuff, bro. Imagine seeing that in real life. You can see how it would be pretty efficient at deceiving you. And there's obviously something very, very important about this symbol right here, underneath this eye, right here. And of course, we know what that eye represents. That's why it's on the back of your dollar, because Egyptian mythology is the foundation of modern masonry. And it's because this stuff that I'm telling you is true, bro, and they know it, and that's part of their esoteric Gnostic belief system. They think that they're entitled to know it because they stem from the gods, and y'all are just useless eaters. Y'all should just be caught up into this surface level religious depictions that are wrong. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen some of this stuff, but this stuff's pretty crazy to me. Look at these things, dude. Look at it looks like a scarecrow with wings on the left, We got this giant bird. This dude just walking around with giant birds. He looks like a literal. Look at this. This is literal wizards, bro. You want to know where wizards came from? Maybe there were manifestations of giant wizards that were teaching people sorcery, and they were like actual wizards. They were performing sorcery and magic in crazy ways, and they were worshiping. Of course, this I'm assuming that they're going to sacrifice these animals here. That's why this dude's got a knife. They look like literal wizards. Look at the hats. That's wild. Little wizard hats. Because you have to understand there's nothing new under the sun, and most of this stuff isn't by coincidence. You want to know why wizards is such a big deal, why in Sword in the Stone, Merlin the wizard teaches Arthur the earth's a globe. Well, maybe wizards weren't just some fictional creation, you know. These dudes obviously weren't big on throwing some pants on. All right, so I think we've covered it here. Look at these things. Imagine an army of these little minions here in real life. And so it's hard to even grasp it, even for me, and I know there's definitely truth to this. It's hard for me to even understand it. So, I can understand why you think it's crazy. Imagine, it says the deception will be so great that, like, if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. Imagine creatures like this, like, coming back into the picture, right? And again, if you take the Enochian story, and Enoch was used to cast judgment, one of only two people brought to heaven without suffering death. He was the right-hand man of God. He was used for judgment. He cast judgment on the watchers. He cast them into bondage for 70 generations. If you look at Psalms, a generation is 70 years. 70 times 70 is 4,900. If you add that to the timeline in which Enochian understanding was introduced, or the idea, the story of Enoch, then you see that 4,900 years puts us right around the 1800s, right? And that's when technology shot through the roof. That's when the Schofield Bible came, where every ministry adopted the Schofield Bible and interpretation that there's a rapture. You don't have to worry about the end time, and that there's a Sethite theory where there weren't actually giants coming from that were Nephilim coming from the Watchers. They were just kind of big humans. No, those are all lies coming from the Watchers. The reason the propaganda is shot through the roof, the deception shot through the roof, and now we believe in the heliocentric model, for example, in my opinion, is because the Watchers got out and they started deceiving us, bro. Because just like we saw with Dirth's latest video, David's talking to this, I think she's a 102-year-old lady, and she's like, I was taught about flat Earth. So flat Earth, I was taught the Earth was flat until they changed it. So flat Earth was known for a long time. Understand that the heliocentric deception is pretty new, right? It is. We've been told it's not. And thousands of years. They've known this for thousands of years. No, they haven't. You're a liar. You're a wizard. Shut up. No one cares about your little gamma tendencies. Okay, it's new. Okay, and all the deceptions have shot through the roof in the last couple hundred years. Do you think it's a coincidence that the book that was removed from you tells you that's when they would get out of bondage? And there's a deception 2.0. And all prophecies, all religions predict this. Okay, but they want that to happen. They're trying to fulfill the prophecy, so they don't care if you know it's going to happen, right? They just don't want you to fully interpret it correctly. Is your family awake to all of this? No. Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's one of my main proofs, in my opinion, because once you find out, like, for example, the pyramids, bro, the pyramids were used for energy sources, okay? They had the water underneath it, and throughout it, the water creates the rotation, the rotating movement that helps generate the power. They use gold because it's the most conductive metal, right? We all know that. That's why gold is really important, okay? Yeah, it doesn't tarnish, it's valuable, but it's valuable because of its conductivity, its magnetic permeability, more specifically, okay? And that's why it is so valuable, and it was such a big asset back in the day. So they had the water, they had the gold, and they were utilizing the natural energy field that is the ether, which is everywhere, and they were harnessing free energy. So the Egyptians had free energy with these pyramids that we cannot rebuild or recreate or replicate, that we were lied to about them being tombs, even though the walls are barren and there's no hieroglyphics or any kind of jewelry or precious metals around anything in the pyramids, which is what they did when they buried their pharaohs. So that isn't true. Okay, it isn't a tomb. So we were lied to about it. Come to find out that they harness free energy. It definitely appears that way. There were giants. There was a limestone covering on the outside of it. And if you listen to stellium, it appears that limestone is harnessed from bones. So what if they were creating the limestone cover on the pyramids from the bones of these Nephilim gods, right? These Nephilim leaders that had passed away. They took their bones and they made the pyramids covered in limestone. There's 1/50th of an inch between each stone, but there's no mortar, right? The rocks were from over 500 miles away, right? The material, the minerals that they needed, how did they get them there? How do they move these rocks? In my opinion, is basically, if you want to call it electrographic propulsion, they understood the intricacies of the dielectric nature in everything, and they were able to harness that, basically just creating a little medium around it or creating a little barrier around it that would repel whatever object it is. It's just understanding the ether, understanding, basically that's the metaphysical world, in my opinion, right? The ether, it's just the part that we can't see. There's a veil there, but it's still there, right? And it's relevant to everything that we do see. They knew how to tap into that because the people that came down here knew all about it, right? And humans didn't. And they told them about it. They were able to harness the dielectric nature of all matter, because all matter is electrostatic, or more specifically dielectric, and they were harnessing this to help move the rocks, to put the rocks in place, to get them from 500 miles away. So pretty crazy. Also information to believe that they did find some types of UFOs, electrographic propulsion devices, or vehicles in archaeological discoveries. Now, I don't really know about that, but it kind of adds up. It kind of makes sense. And then they told us that they came down here in the 1950s and crashed. No, that's not what happened. That isn't what happened. Okay, maybe in the 1950s they discovered something underground, bro, right? But they were more advanced than us, and they said that all of this stuff existed. This is how they depicted history, and then little cocky, mind-numb, sub-100 IQ, fluoride-filled mind zombies want to tell me that they know more than them because they have one of these. Okay, so it's retarded. Sure, I'll play the video. I'm trusting you, bro.
Guys, remember how I showed you the maps?
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah, sure, why not? Not particularly related, but we'll watch it. All right, guys, we're going to check out this video.
That were here on Earth before 1950.
Everybody give me feedback. Make sure this sounds good. Just throw a thumbs up or something, and then I'll keep playing.
Before the governments took them out. And I'm going to show you the Encyclopedia Britannicas in the public libraries before 1958. Here's Volume 2 out of the alphabet A. We're going to flip to the Antarctica, and this is from 1958, as you can see. Now, we're going to flip to the Antarctica and see what the Encyclopedia Britannica from 1958, before the Antarctic Treaty, says is there. Now, you won't find this in the new encyclopedias because the government's banned them. But what I want you to notice right here is, notice how it says the flights proved inland areas to be featureless in character, with a dome 13,000 feet high at about latitude 80 degrees south, longitude 90 degrees east. Take a really, really close look at that. Now I'm going to zoom it in for you. When they returned to New Zealand, these flights proved the inland areas to be featureless in character, with a dome 13,000 feet high at about latitude 80 degrees south, longitude 90 degrees east. Now, if this doesn't make sense to you, let me show you with an image of what a flat earth map would look like. Now, this is what a latitude 80 degrees south would look like on a flat Earth map. As you can see, the dome comes down closer to you over the wall, which will be about 13,000 feet. Now, if you go back out into the center of the Earth, or of the North Pole, and try to go up to the firmament with a little bit of calculation, it's going to show that it's about 385,500 feet away. It's really, really simple, folks. Now, if you're not familiar with any of this at all, and you're just now new to all this, you can say, well, this guy is crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But what you got to ask yourself is, why do all the maps before 1958 show a flat Earth with the ice wall around it and a firmament, a dome? And why does the encyclopedia tell you that there's a dome there, and it gives you the exact height at a certain latitude and longitude? Well, the reason is because in 1958, that's when all governments and all nations of the world signed the UN treaty to ban all civilians from going to the Antarctica. And NASA came in and erased everything, just like they're erasing everything today. So again, ask yourself, if all this existed before 1958, why doesn't it exist now? How come it all of a sudden was erased and just disappeared out of?
Well, so glad that Bob's here. As he says, the dome refers to the Dome Mountains. There are several of them in Antarctica. It is not referring to the firmament. Okay, well, we're not going to support that then. So it is somewhat odd of the terminology used, but I definitely think that's a more logical explanation that he's explaining here, right? Because they wouldn't even have put that in there, and maybe it's some subversive wizardry where they're referring to the dome but not, right? But the 13,000 feet doesn't mean anything. And of course, the firmament would come all the way down, right? And that's the first thing I thought when I saw this video like a year ago. I was like, well, wouldn't the dome go all the way down? So I'm not sure what you're talking about. So yeah, so definitely still some mind gravy there that the encyclopedia did say that. They don't say it anymore, but I believe. No, yeah, you're fine, bro. It's no big deal, dude. No big deal. That's why we're all here. We just help each other sift through the gravy and pull out some of the wizardry. And it does say that there's a dome, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I want to show some of my man Stellium. I'm sure he won't care if I show you a little bit of one of his videos. Okay, I'm going to show you his introduction to Unveiling a Titan. And go show this guy some love. I'm pretty sure he's not going to care if I show it to you. So since we're on the video mode, let's check out what he's got to say. Again, Stellium, go support him, bro. Support what you like or goes away. This dude is a legend. He is, he's slaying wizards, and he's interested in exposing the truth. So much props to him. And he's got a job. He does this on the side, and he's one of those people that don't just talk about it. He goes and does the things, right? Just like how I plan on truly wanting to go and see what's at the North Pole, right? People think that's a pipe dream, but it's cool, bro. Stay on the sidelines. I want to go to the North Pole, okay? You might think I'm crazy. Whatever, bro. Whatever. I know that my soul and my spirit's way bigger than this body. I do not care about dying, okay? I feel in the inner core of my being that my purpose is to be a part of exposing the truth, and I want to go see it, okay? Because imagine, just to entertain the idea, that the North Pole is the Garden of Eden. Let's just imagine that it's the Garden of Eden. Then men sin, right? Which we all know what happened. We know the story. So then they sinned. Sin was introduced, and then they were no longer immortal. They then were introduced to death, right? They had a finite lifespan. They were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. And then as you go there, say that we anatomically changed. Say that humans' anatomical structure changed to where we could no longer go through this magnetic toroidal field that emanates from the middle. And so as you get there, you can't go. But these watchers, they're not in the physical body. They don't have the physical, anatomical structure that we do, so they can still go there. But Enoch says they came down, they corrupted men, that they had sex with the women, and that they made up all of these religions and all this. They introduced all this magic, right? And then they tried to go back up, but they couldn't leave Earth because God did not allow them to, because they crossed the line, right? Which is why they had to make that pact with each other, that eternal pact that they would take the punishment together. So anyway, what I'm saying is, say they can still go there. Say if you could see the North Pole unimpeded by all of these monoliths of power structures that the grabblers are putting into place on this world, which are just the puppets of these watchers or these evil entities. And so anyway, say you go see the North Pole and they're constantly going in and out of it. What if you constantly saw them flying in and out of the North Pole, and above it you see like the beauty of the Northern Lights even greater as you get closer? You see this mountain, you see the bodies, you see the rivers, you see the whirlpool, right? You can't go there, but you can get a grasp of how incredible like reality actually is. That's why it's been removed from you. And maybe that if you saw these beings flying in and out of there, you certainly couldn't deny the metaphysical, right? So that's what I think, okay? And I want to see it. I want to see it. Yeah, maybe the watchers go in and out of the North Pole. There's some gravy for you. So anyway, my point of that was I actually want to do that, right? I'm trying to think the best way to do it. Talk to some people that are good at raising money. You would need millions of dollars. Do I need to do it covertly? First I thought yes. Now I'm thinking no, right? I think we need to bring mass awareness to flat Earth, to the heliocentric deception. We need to do massive public displays of activism where we have 30,000 people marching down the streets, because the news has to cover that there's 30,000 people in a march, and that is for flat Earth, right? They can lie and say we're stupid, but it doesn't matter. They'll have to tell the public there's a huge display of people that think the Earth is flat. Then people can go look into it, and then when we get that on the mass scale, we can demand exploration, private exploration rights to the North Pole. We want to know what's there, right? And so there's an Antarctic treaty. You can't go there, of course. If it's an ice ring, then they don't want you to know that, because that definitively proves this is an enclosed system, which this is clearly a closed dynamic system, which we watch McToon shuck and jive, because gas pressure cannot exist without the necessary antecedent of a physical container. There is not one observation in history that shows that it cannot, which would lead one to logically understand that this Earth is a dynamic closed system, right? And if this is a closed dynamic system with the barrier, it touches down. In theory, they don't want you to know that. So there's a treaty, but there isn't a treaty on the North Pole, because they couldn't make a treaty on the North and South Pole, because it just looks ridiculous. They're clearly hiding something. But there's heavy military presence around the North Pole, so you cannot go there. You cannot go within 500 miles of every direction. I want to see it, okay? If you don't want to see it, that's cool. It's not for everybody, right? Just stay on the sidelines. Stop trying to attack your own side. I want to see it. I think that the watchers go in and out of the magnetic toroidal field emanating from the center of the Earth. We can't go there anymore because we sin. As humans, we had a change in anatomical structure that prevents us from being able to go through the strength of this magnetic field that is the center of everything. And that just, I know that sounds crazy, but we are unfortunately in a time of the world where we get as much history as we can, as much truth as we can, and we have to try to speculate to figure out what's going on. That's my speculation. I want to know. I think that my point here is that I actually want to do it, right? We need more people that are actually about the action, that are jeopardizing their whole livelihood to get on Facebook or get on YouTube and talk to you guys about this stuff. For example, those are the people that are really about it, not just talking. This guy's really about it. He's going out there trying to find out what's up with the Titans, trying to find out what's up with all of these archaeological discoveries, trying to find out are these rocks actually made of carbon? Were these actually living creatures back in the day? Were they giants, etc.? And it sounds crazy to you because you're still plugged in the box if you think that's crazy. But this dude's going and trying to figure it out scientifically. This dude is a legend. So go support him. Go sub to his channel. Throw him a Rogan's up. Like, you should also smash the Rogan's up on this video because we have more people than thumbs up watching. And yeah, let's just watch the minute and 40-second video. Shut up. That was awesome, bro. I just got goosebumps. Go subscribe to Stellium, STELLIUM7 on YouTube, and show some love. Support What You Like or It Goes Away, because he is, of course, you don't just go do all that stuff for free. So support What You Like or It Goes Away. I think that dude is a legend, and I got to watch all his videos. I've been real busy. And then maybe I'll even be able to get him to come on here in the future and have a chat, because we've talked a few times on Discord, and it's been very gravy-filled conversation. That whole video was gravy. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. We might watch that again before we leave, because that was awesome. Where did I see up here? This is crazy. The real North Pole is most likely in Thule. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Thule, Greenland. There's a military base there. That's pretty crazy. Let's see where that's at. All right, I'm going to come over here and screen share. What we're going to do is go. I hate that we even have to use this nonsense. So there's a military base up here. You gotta love whenever it just takes the city away, you little grabblers. One thing I can say for sure is something's going on up here, because look at how fake this looks, bro. Oh yeah, let's just composite fake-looking bodies of water. Oh, it's because of the depth. Shut up, bro. This is fake. You're lying. Maybe one of these globers can explain to me how God made me and I live on a free plane of existence and I'm not allowed to go here because the grabblers say so. Please defend your tyrannical leaders, and let us know how that goes for you. All right, let's let it take us all the way in. Dude, why is it? What is it? Is it 2020, bro? Like, come on. What is that? Well, I think Bob might be over the mark here. Look how fake this stuff looks. What is that, bro? What is going on here, bro? Oh, it's really cold, guys. Just don't go. I promise. It's just real cold. Dude, I'm going, bro. My brother's been to Greenland. He said it was beautiful. That's pretty wild. Oh, there's our mission statement. What is... I'll have to look more into this. I'm pretty fascinated. But guys, look, this is what we are told is real. Look, what's going on here? Do people actually think that this is what it looks like? That's the real question. People actually think this is exactly what it looks like? I've never seen anything this fake ever. What's this perfect line going through here? Oh, it's called composite images, also known as computer-generated images. It's a lie. It might have a little bit of reality to it. Look at that. Look how fake that got real quick. That was 0 to 100 real quick. If you think that this is what the Earth looks like, you need to unplug from the box, my man, because that is retarded. That's pretty crazy. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, dude, that dude's cool, bro. He's definitely cool. I'm very interested in watching all of his work, looking a little more into it, and then maybe having him on here as a guest. That's something that I've had a lot of people agree that they think they'd like to see at least once a week, but maybe a little more often, having someone on here as a guest. You know, we already have like, you know, I'm already surrounded by some very smart people because Bob generously offered to let me come on to Glowbusters. So, you know, we got Rodrigo, we got Iru, we got Bob, we got Jaron, we got, you know, Ben. So that, you know, that's a mind gravy right there. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do is start having some people on here to talk. Maybe I'll show up on some other people's shows, and then I'm gonna do street activism as well and put that on the YouTube, which I've had a lot of people feedback that would be cool. I mean, that's gonna cost money, of course, to go travel around and to different cities and go out on the streets and talk about flat Earth. But I think it would be very good content. I think that even a globe earther that's a religious zealot, they would be interested. It just you know, it's entertainment that most people can't resist, right? That I'm going to go around with a speaker wrapped around me with this microphone, just like talking about the flat Earth, and people are going to start losing their minds. So I'll probably do that. So I have a lot of things. I have a few presentations on PowerPoint I'm working on. Just I work all the time also, so I'm trying my best to fit it in. That's why I got so behind on my work. I'm trying to do all this at the same time, but it's all good. Every little thing is gonna be all right. It's a Stellium 7 here. I'll link it. And go show him some love and check out his videos, because you know, I normally don't just like openly endorse people that I haven't fully watched all the, like a lot of their stuff. But dude, I've watched some of his stuff and I listened to him talk. You know, I had a conversation with him more than once. This dude is over the mark, bro. You know, he started talking about sonoluminescence and dude, the legend, bro. Tell me about some of his work. He's super cool, bro. Super cool. So. Okay, so now we're starting to get this figured out here. See, that's what's so fascinating to me is how beautiful the sky looks around this area that we're not allowed to go to. Oh, how about you speak for yourself, bro? Okay, Bob's in here ladling gravy in the chat. Let's try this out, bro. I'm just laid back. It's like I slept quite a bit, so I mean, I might go for a little bit longer. You know, come and go as you please. So let's see here. No, I don't know anything about this video though. That's the problem. All right, well, while that's doing that, let's see what you're talking about. The ovation. I agree 100%. I bet that was pretty cool, bro. I'm going to play, I think this is time lapse of the lights. And so we'll We'll check it out. Maybe I'll pause it a couple times. I'm not trying to deal with some copyright nonsense. Actually, maybe I should get some feedback. If I play one of these time-lapse videos, is it possible I'm going to get copyright? Does anyone know? Surely not, bro. I'm using this for educational purposes of the fact that the grabblers have hid one of the most crucial components of your existence, which is the very center of it, right? So let's just think about this for a second, though, while maybe someone can enlighten me about that. It's only 2 minutes long. If I pause it a few times, will I be good? I don't know. But if the earth is the very center of existence, don't you think the very center of existence is probably important? Oh, and in case you don't understand how it's pretty clearly that it is, I know that a lot of y'all have seen this, but we're going to look at it anyway. So if the earth is the center of existence, right, okay, and we're not allowed to go to the center of existence, maybe it's important. You know, we see this, right? The magnetic flux over the top of the earth. That's cool. Okay. Now we come over here. What's above that? Oh, just the same thing. There's the same thing with a center point, right? Just like this, a center point. The center point we're not allowed to go to. A center point that shows things like this in the sky right above it. Yeah, you wonder why. They don't want you to think about flat Earth at all. But if you do, they want to make you think you need to go to Antarctica. Well, no, let's go to the North Pole, bro. That's where all the answers are. And I trust my gut after years of doing this. I find all the evidence, and then I go where it leads me. I can tell you right now, the North Pole is much more important. For one, the North Pole is going to be a location right there. It's not going to be an encompassing circle, right? If what we theorize about Antarctica is real and it's the ice wall, well, that's a big area. It's a huge ice wall, right? Not that we shouldn't know that or even be interested in exploring it, because again, this is our free right as humans, that God gave us this free right of exploration on this free earth. It has nothing to do with the grabblers or the watchers, a bunch of little secret kings. Tell them to get on somewhere. All these little secret kings that run around your Facebook and your Instagram trying to tell you that you're an idiot because you want to explore the earth yourself, right? Tell them to kick rocks, bro, because the little secret king gamma males, they would never do it. Forget them. You need to go to the North Pole, bro. I'm telling you, we need to go there. Okay, I don't think you can go all the way to the North Pole, but you can get close enough to see it, I'm pretty sure. So let's go see it. Let's go see it without being impeded by the world's military governments, or the world's governments and militaries. All these superpowers. I believe you, bro. All right, bet for sure. Boom. Oh, wow. Check that out, bro. That's incredible, man. And this is the actual magnetic flux, guys. You want to tell me we live on a ball? Look at that. Look at that. That's incredible, dude. And again, and you want to know where this idea of as above, so below came from? But it came from existence itself, bro. It's just been corrupted by Lucifer. Look at that. That's pretty wild. That's awesome to me, dude. And we're not allowed to go right here? Who says, bro? Who says we're not allowed to go right there? That's what I want to know. It's obvious the place that we need to go. Maybe everyone is supposed to figure this out, right? And that's like their journey. They're supposed to figure out that everything's in the center. You're the center of everything because you're God's existence or God's creation on this creation that is made by God, and it's the center of everything. If something's the center of everything, it's probably important, especially if you have an understanding of like magnetic fields, right? If you understand that this is what's encompassing the earth, this inertial plane is the earth. Okay, so if this is what's on earth, then the center of it would be the number 9, if you understand the Fibonacci. So that represents divinity. See this? The earth would be the green line there. Not trying to play the outro. Yeah, I'll show y'all one more. I know I showed y'all some of this in the magnetism, but I'm trying to explain, like, if the center of that is, if that's where we live, right, and the center is the North Pole, what could be more important? And if you're not familiar with the Fibonacci sequence, I'll probably do a stream on that too. I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of layman's terms. It seems to like really melt people's mind, the Fibonacci sequence, but it's complicated and simple. You know, divinity is simplicity. But see this, imagine this as being the world, right? All right. This center point would be the North Pole. That represents the number 9, the Fibonacci sequence, which is the divine number. And then I can show you all this. Like that, it blows my mind, bro. Like, it all comes together when you open your mind and you start to research. It all seems to come together slowly but surely. You know, like, if the earth is the center of everything, if y'all were talking about stargates earlier, look what I just found. I don't know enough about that to really talk on it though. But Stellium was talking to me about it. Just a second, sorry, I'm trying to find this thing. Oh well. It was just a quote that we've all seen where Tesla explains that if you want, you know, everything in the universe revolves around 369. That's what this is. The center is 9. Okay, understand that's what encompasses the Earth. Boom, the inertial plane is the Earth. That encompasses the Earth. Of course, the pinnacle's in the center. There's an inertial plane there. It is the perfect, you know, balance. It's the perfect. I don't know the best word, but it's basically the pinnacle of everything and nothing at the same time. Yeah, and that's creation, bro, and it's being hidden from you because can you imagine what that looks like to our limited little perceptions? Dude, this right here has me in awe, and it's an image, right? Imagine seeing that in real life. Imagine seeing whatever's in the center in real life here in the center of all this. Imagine seeing that in real life. You think you're going to deny God after seeing that, bro? Good luck. I don't think so. Let me see. Okay, cool. I'm going to play this little, it's like 2 minutes long. Yeah, they are. They are. That's a mind gravy. Maybe I'll do one on that too. Of course, as these go, the titles will have to get more specific. The thought of this is religion. It's just you don't be religious, because if it requires you to turn your head to contradictory evidence and to rely on men's interpretation and men's doctrines and just fit existence into this bubble, right? Then that's sad, bro. Like and if it causes you to lash out at people, attack people, disagree with you, again, to turn your head to evidence, and it's purely based on nothing more than, you know, a faith-based belief system, then, you know, that's detrimental to your true pursuit of truth, right? Like, I believe in Yeshua. This isn't just purely me hoping he's real or something. Like, I have tangible reasons for that. So seek and speak truth and mean what you say. And of course, the emphasis relative to this conversation is the seeking the truth part. All right. So anyway, let's go over here. Hey, shout out to this guy. This is for educational purposes. Dude, I got goosebumps again. Bro, that is awesome, bro. That is incredible, bro. Like, think about how beautiful creation is. So, tangible means you can touch it. Yeah, I know. I use the word the way it means, bro. I have tangible reasons. I believe in Jesus, Yeshua. I'll do it on another stream though, bro. But I understand that you might understand that. But yeah, I mean it literally. I have tangible reasons, physical reasons, like that were physically manifested, like in the physical world. I don't just come out here saying Yeshua over and over because I hope it's real. But I understand the misunderstanding. Yeah, and that's what those images were. Did y'all just take in that gravy? That gravy is provided to you by none other than the Creator Himself. Okay, and well, the way I'm interpreting those lights is that's just the perpetual motion of the toroidal magnetic field emanating, right, or illuminating what we perceive as those beautiful lights because of its reaction within the ether, right? That's what light is, right? Because light is an ether perturbation, an ether perturbation modality, a disturbance in the ether. That's what light is. Light is nothing more than an electrical current being introduced into the ever-present medium that is the ether, and then we perceive the reaction as an illumination as we are watching the rate of induction relative to the amount of electrical charge relative to the medium itself. We are perceiving the rate of induction and the illumination of that reaction. Light is not a tangible thing. It is nothing more than our perception of the ether modality, of the disturbance in the ether. It manifests as a transversal movement, photons or dielectric pulses on the coaxial circuits of light. Okay, so light is immaterial. It is not a wave. Wave isn't a thing. That's an effect. Okay, it waves. Okay, it's not a particle. That's retarded. It definitely isn't a wave and a particle. That's even more retarded. Okay, that's stupid. Anyway, these lights in the sky are nothing more than ether perturbation modalities of the manifestation of the toroidal field, which is obviously very powerful. So the toroidal field manifests as some form of these beautiful lights whenever it's culminated towards the center of the earth that you're not allowed to go see. And that's why the lights are so beautiful. That's the way I perceive it. There's a perpetual motion to it. That was time-lapse footage because it's constantly in motion, right? So it has some form of a cycle to it. Right now, does it fluctuate? I don't know all the specifics. Is it relative to what's going on? Is it a consistent expression of energy? Does it fluctuate? I don't really know. Does it fluctuate based on the seasons or whatever, or the conditions? Maybe, right? And I mean, of course, again, the perception of light, the manifestation of light is all relative to the medium and the conditions and the introduction of the level of energy. But I think that's pretty wild. It's pretty awesome. What was the magical field the Apollo astronauts passed through? It's called the Van Allen radiation belts. And that is their way of telling you to your face partial truth. All good lies have truth. So if this emanates around the outside, right? If this is what the Earth is, then of course there is a field. There's a toroidal field, right? But it isn't this immense radiation that you can't pass through in space. You just can't go to space, bro. You know, but again, truth hidden in plain sight there on that one. Yep, that's what it is. I did not witness as much color, but I can imagine, and I have seen the lights. They are more real than you or I. I believe it 100%. I know they're real, and I think that I know why. Gravy. Yes, and it can be repeated in a lab, unlike gravity. Exactly. And that's wild, bro, because like, and the way I'm perceiving that, or the reason I'm agreeing with that, is because like okay, we can do all of these things consistently, introducing variables that can manipulate the effect, right? And that's what science actually is. That's what an experiment actually is, right? You have to have an independent variable. When the idea of the manifestation of light, the independent variable being the energy introduced into the ether medium. Athena, stop! Hey, stop, bro. It's acting crazy. So yeah, that's what I mean by it, right? All observable phenomena coincides with the existence of this force field, this absolute frame of reference, the universal background that is the ether. Okay, when dumb people don't even know what they're talking about or can't even understand what the actual postulation is, they tell you you're stupid because the ether can't exist. Well, no, my friend, the ether does exist. Your inability to concede that or understand or acknowledge it in no way changes it. Just like an atheist doesn't make God stop existing, right? It still exists. Okay, the ether is as real as you and I are. Okay, that's just the way it is. Okay, because all observable phenomena shows us that the very electrical grid we have today came from that base assumption. So that's why, and just like Bob was saying on the after show, all the people that have come up with these new forms of energy, these magnetic generators or alternators, etc., they are all operating under the assumption there is ether. So the innovation of energy production is coming from the base assumption and understanding and acknowledgement of the force field that is the ether. Modern science knows there's a field there. They can't call it ether because the theory of relativity cannot coexist with the ether. So Lucifer's sitting back like, ha ha, joke's on you because you can't even understand where you live because you are forcing it into the confinement of the presupposition of the theory of relativity, which is a reification fallacy. It attributes a property to a privation. There is no space. Space is a concept of nothing. That's retarded. How can you manipulate pure nothingness, squeeze pure nothingness? You cannot. It's retarded. There isn't space. You don't go to space. We're here. This is where we are. And it's a beautiful existence, you know? And then these people that are hiding something or don't want to submit to logos or morality or right and wrong, or right more specifically, and do what's right and integrity and honesty and God, and they want to try to interpret this somehow as, oh, so we're trapped here. Yeah, this evil, crazy, tyrannical God trapped us here. No, he gave us his existence, which is beyond our finite comprehension. Did you not see the time-lapse footage of those lights? The earth is beautiful. It's all we could ever need. We could try to explore the entirety of the majestic nature of the earth from the day we're born to the day we die. We're not going to see all of it. The earth is plenty. The earth is plenty. Okay, you know, he created this beautiful existence, and where, in my opinion, there's a firmament that acts as an insulator. The stars are embedded within. Everything's perfect and harmonic. Okay, as above, so below, because the toroidal field goes above and below, and they're twisting the truth, the metaphysical truths, and then they're attributing this knowledge to this deity, the light bearer, who is a creation of the creator. You are not a deity, you know? So there's kind of where I'm going with it. You're good, bro. No, if someone says that they have tangible proof that of Yeshua, I can kind of understand why you would be like, whoa, what are you talking about, bro? Yeah, love and respect for sure, bro. You're awesome, bro. Thanks for always being here. That's what I do agree, bro. I agree. What's so cool about this this group of people? Like, we're small, right? I got like 50 people watching, but what's so cool about it is like our chats are so like filled with logos and like intellect. Like, people are constantly introducing like very thought-provoking things, right? Like, this is the type of saloon you want to be a part of, right? Logos heavy, gravy heavy, not scared to speak the truth. And we're having intellectual exchanges, right? I love this group of people, bro. And like, so like, I salute y'all, and I'm like super happy y'all like to come here with me because I get to bounce ideas off of you. And this is what you want to do. You want to surround yourself with like-minded people. You don't want to go talk to McToon every day on Facebook and try to convince him his religion isn't real because it's his religion. You can't convince him. That's why I like what Nathan Thompson says, and I adopt it and use it. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated, because there's always going to be some little gamma secret king that wants to undercut you and undermine you and belittle what you're doing, right? And belittle your pursuit of truth. Don't worry about them, dude. I have people attacking me all over the place right now because I dismantled their religion and one of their little religious leaders in live time. And so now they don't know how to handle it. It would be foolish of me to argue with fools, right? I've gone there. I've corrected them a couple times. I'm not going to go back and forth with these little gammas all day, every day. That's what they want, right? And it's so funny. These people act like I'm dumb, but they sub to my channel, right? I'm not going to say any names, but one of the most famous guys, or one of the most prominent dudes, relatively speaking, he's small, right? But one of the prominent dude that goes against flat Earth sub to my channel? Why would you want to listen to me talk if I'm so retarded? All of these people are in my chats, in the chats of my debates, in my comment sections, watching all my videos, subbing, but they say that I'm retarded. But they know I'm not retarded, but they are indoctrinated, and their subconscious won't let them relinquish the possibility of these things that I'm saying. You have to be patient with them, bro, because that's not even the real thing. Like that's a spell, right? They're under a spell. It's wizardry, bro. Like there's good in everyone. They just detached you from the inherent connection you have to God and Logos by putting you under a spell, and it required your compliance. You just didn't realize that you gave your compliance, that you gave your permission, right? Silence is your permission. And so that's what's going on here. So yeah, don't go back and forth with them too much. Don't add fuel to their fire, right? Let the dead bury the dead. But at the same time, do be patient and understanding. These people are literally under spells. And if they, for example, the person I was just referencing, he thinks he's atheist. He thinks he knows there is no God. Well, of course he doesn't know he's under a metaphysical spell. He doesn't even acknowledge the metaphysical, right? And so we do need to be patient and show restraint and just take the shots, bro, right? Because if I can do it, you can do it. I'm getting it a lot right now. Just take all the bullets, take all the shots, find contentment in the fact that you're seeking and speaking truth, and you mean what you say, and you're trying to expose the lies. You're trying to be a part of the movement that breaks humanity out of the ideological chains we were placed in. That's all you need, bro. Don't worry about them from the sideline. Little gamma male, secret king, keyboard warriors that want to talk crazy to you because they're irrelevant, right? They're laughable. In the big picture, they're way on the wrong side of things. Worry about what history reflects, not what the victor is the author's history reflects, but real history, what really happened, right? Look at things way beyond this finite lifespan. That's what the devil has done. He's made us think there's nothing beyond this. So we only live and act based on this lifespan alone. That makes us greedy and selfish and materialistic and apathetic and nihilistic, because if you really knew that, well, my spirit's way bigger than this, my soul's way bigger than this lifespan, I don't mind sacrificing my life for truth or for my creator, or speaking the truth and taking the bullets, right? Or doing these big things that might cause this lifespan or this life I have to be put into jeopardy, or, my livelihood to be limited in the future, bro, because it's way bigger than that, bro. And, it's cliche, but you can have $1 quadrillion, bro, but you can't take it with you, bro. Right. So there's my spill. I don't agree with the strip mining thing, bro. I don't agree with these alien gods made us to strip the earth. No, that's damage control to keep you away as you begin to awaken. All right. If there's anything on the History Channel, it's a lie. If it's on the History Channel, it's a lie. And if you look into what is that, the Anunnaki, if you look into who interpreted it, he doesn't even understand the language, right? I've heard numerous people that studied all the Mediterranean and the historic languages a lot, and they say he doesn't even know what he's talking about. And they challenged him to a debate, and he didn't debate them. He was famous for coming up with this postulation that the Anunnaki have created us to mine gold, and that they came from this certain planet Nibiru or whatever, Planet X and all this nonsense. But he looked at a picture and then deduced that purely out of speculation. And then it was put on the History Channel, promoted through the mainstream media, so that you believe that, because if you awaken to the fact that there is a metaphysical reality, we have been lied to about history, the star people did come down to, they want to take you once you're becoming awakened and then put you back into a state of slumber where you think you're awake, right? The best slave is the one that thinks that they're free. And still in that moment, with the end game that you believe is that you're some little pawn created by these sinister, cynical aliens that have created you purely for monetary incentives or purely for resources, right? And no, I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even leave here. How can someone be from another galaxy? You can't leave here. There's my take on that. See, this isn't true either, though, my man. There's no way for us to ever know anything. That isn't true, bro. I know that God is real because of the Fibonacci sequence in intelligent design proves creation as does DNA, which is intertwined with the sacred geometry. I know that good is real. I know that good overcomes bad. I know that logos is real. Logos, logic, order. I know that there's a consciousness in humans. I know that that's real, right? I know this desk is here for real, right? I do know some things for real, but I can understand where you're going to an extent, but that breeds apathy, my man. Whatever, tell him to take in the gravy, bro. Bring the biscuits. Yeah, that's awesome, bro. You're always welcome, man. These chats the only place I can freely talk enough to not overload people's minds. One thing I can say, bro, is I can definitely agree that, man, like thinking real deep and freely and maybe a higher level is super isolating nowadays, right? Like it's just super isolating. That's why I used to have a drinking problem, bro, because I I felt like when I drank a lot, I like slowed my mind down, and I wouldn't really care about talking about these type of stuff, right? I just talk about trivial nonsense or just be focused on hooking up with whatever girl that I had picked out that night at the bar or whatever, and constantly drinking, numbing myself to reality, dumbing myself down, lowering my frequencies. And it was a crutch. I'm being translucently honest with y'all because maybe someone can relate to that and know that it's not worth it. Just go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Don't change yourself. Don't dilute your pursuit of truth, right? Because I have friends that hate when I go on my little spills or I start trying to talk about something deep. Well, whatever, then, just don't talk to me. I'm not going to put myself in a, mind numb state so that I can talk to you about stupid, trivial nonsense that was crafted purely to distract us. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's a long way of saying I do agree. I can definitely relate. But dang, we're coming up on 240. Yeah, much love, bro. No, bro, you're good, dude. Speak your mind, bro. But I mean, I'm just real assertive. I'm going to tell you when I disagree with you. Ultimately, if you want to know what happens after death, talk to someone who has been there and come back and tell about it. The only person in human history to have done that is Jesus. I like this dude, bro. Exactly. You want to know what the biggest proof for Yeshua is? He's the only one that defied death, thus adding credence to everything that he taught. Okay, and this, we have theories. We know nothing. Well, for example, with Yeshua, we don't just have theories. We know that he existed, that people hated him, that he was rebuked and attacked and ostracized, that tons of people followed him, that he performed miracles that they call sorcery, right? He performed miracles based on the people that hated him. They wrote about it. We know that he was crucified innocently, factually. We know that, okay? We have proof of that in the British Museum. Okay, we know that he was crucified innocently, and that when he was crucified, that it got really, really dark in the afternoon. That's factual. We know that factually. Okay, unless you want to throw all history out, based in like the historicity, based on like typical historical evaluation standards. Everything I'm saying is off the charts. So if you want to deny that Alexander the Great existed, then okay, but we all know he existed. The first writing for Alexander the Great was 300 years after his existence. The same atheist, retarded people that will say that, oh, Yeshua didn't even have something written about him until after 40 years, they'll believe Alexander the Great, and he didn't have something written until after 300 years. And actually, there were writings about Yeshua as soon as he died, really during his life, okay? But the last representations of it didn't come till about 40 years later, right? And one other thing people understand, Paul, one of the most prominent authors in the Bible, certainly the New Testament, of course, he wasn't just a biblical author. He was a historical author, and historians use his writings all throughout different aspects of history. And he obviously says that Yeshua was not only real, right, but that he gives you vivid details about his life. And then he went around and changed his whole life based on that. So anyway, we just do historically know those things. We historically know that the entire calendar is around him. We know historically that for some reason when someone decides to cuss, they say Jesus, not some other word, right? We don't understand these things. They don't make them not real, bro. Like Yeshua is definitely real, dude. I used to think it was a fairy tale because all these people in these churches, they wouldn't answer my questions, bro. They wouldn't answer my questions. I'm like, Genesis 6, what's the Nephilim? Why is it saying this? Does this contradict? They wouldn't answer any of my questions, bro. And I found out they don't even believe what they say they believe. Why would I let you teach me what to believe? I'm like, this is stupid. This is a fairy tale, bro. Then I would watch History Channel. I would watch all this other stuff. They're telling me he's a fairy tale. I'm like, yeah, look, he's a fairy tale. What a joke. Religion's used to control people. Wrong. No, that's true. Religion is used to control people. But Yeshua wasn't a lie, right? Yeshua's fake. That's wrong. That is 100% not true, okay? So why are they trying to tell you that? The concerted effort proves motive. So you have to think like that. You have to unplug from the box, bro. You're not going to be able to see through the schemes if you don't understand how to understand these people, right? The analogy I always use is the world's a stage. If you don't know you're watching a play, you'll never be able to try to understand the motivation of the author of the play, right? Because the world is a stage, and the author is the light bearer. Now, the real author is God, okay? But we know that the prince of the earth is the prince of darkness is the prince of the earth, right? Lucifer, the light bearer. That's why all the elite worship him. It might sound crazy. Hey, bro, what can I do, man? What can I do, bro? I'm just telling you what we do know is that we were lied to about Yeshua. I was told he was a fairy tale. He's misrepresented in the canonized text that limit your ability to truly go seek and gather information about it. We weren't told about Enoch, which adds context to all of it, right? And this is what people I don't think understand. They're using religion to start wars, bro, right? They've got the Christians supporting Israel to go to all kinds of wars. I mean, I'm just saying that's just allegedly. Okay? I don't know what, but I just know that, like, people do think that, right? Christians think it says those that bless Israel will be blessed, those that curse Israel will be cursed, right? And so, like, that's kind of related to how we act and what we support. Okay. But actually, according to the scriptures, not everyone from Israel is of Israel. Galatians 3:28 says there is no Jew nor Greek nor bond nor free nor male nor female, that we're all one in Christ. And when we come to Christ, we inherit the seed of Abraham and the promises within. That means we are Israel as believers. Bless the believers, you'll be blessed. Curse the believers, you'll be cursed. Okay. The true followers of Yeshua. That's what it says. Okay, so no, I don't want to go kill Palestinians when Palestine is 70% Christian. I'm good. I'll pass. Okay, so religion is definitely used 100% for control, bro. But they've lied about the real story, and there's got to be a reason for that. There's got to be a reason for that. The historicity of Yeshua is undeniable. There's my spill. I know people disagree with me, man, but hey, man, I just... Do you believe in the literal death of Christ, or do you think death is supposedly life in another form? I think that Yeshua literally died in the physical body, and then he was resurrected. To pagans who try to turn Jesus into a pagan deity, that doesn't change the fact he was real. Yeah, I agree 100%. And that's another part. You see how the author of confusion, bro, the master of deception, he's way beyond all of this, okay? He's crafted it to where, oh, you get this awake, well, then you get deceived with this. Oh, you figure this truth out, well, then you get deceived with this. And just like he's saying, when the pagans, all the pagan intricacies that seem to match up with Yeshua, people believe that has something to do with the real story, and they don't understand it. They don't understand what's going on. It was prophesied this dude would come, bro. It was prophesied, okay? So no, Yeshua isn't a knockoff of all of these people. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. And they didn't defy death. So there's that. Yeah, I think that it's been crafted very, very, very meticulously to where when you start to look into it, you're like, oh, wow, this is all just modern religion, modern depiction, the modern savior, right? But humans don't really know. That's an open-minded, somewhat logical path to go down. But if you stop yourself right there and think you know everything, you're not going to find out the truth, bro. That isn't the entirety of the explanation. Yeah, I admit the things that I don't know, bro. You know, I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying I don't just stop pursuing truth whenever I can't figure something out. I keep looking for it, bro. Yep, I have the book right. I have a Josephus, all of his writings compiled in a book right over there. They try to undermine the validity of Josephus, but whatever. Y'all didn't care. The story of Josephus is that he was in battle and he was captured. He did so good that translating that they chose him to be an author for their civilization. They gave him everything he needed to write down the history. So, oh, he's a good author until he talks about Yeshua. And it has seemed to maybe be a little tampered with one of his writings where it's like talking about Yeshua because, you know, it seems like it might have been a little altered. And that was done not to promote Jesus, but to make someone go look into the historicity of Jesus and then see, oh, wow, y'all had to lie to make him look like he was real. You see how this is crafted? I hope I'm putting some dots together for y'all, but no, I don't know. It's all good, bro, but you don't got to all cap us, man. No, dude, you're cool, bro. Yeah, I know. I can't remember what historical author it was, but he reluctantly admits that it did get real dark whenever they crucified Yeshua. And he's like, how could this have happened? It must have been an unplanned eclipse that we didn't know was going to happen and we couldn't see. Okay, even if that's true, which I think it just got dark because you killed the Son of God. But even if that was true, and a simultaneous coincidental eclipse as soon as he was crucified, the point remains, bro. You know what I'm saying? Something important happened. Yeah, exactly. If Jesus hadn't come back from the dead, his enemies would have been all over it at the time. But no one denied that he did in fact die and came back from death, validating everything he said or did. I have to agree. I mean, the denial does come in that he came back to life. That's where the denial comes from. But you have to say something like dozens of people had simultaneous hallucinations hallucinations over the course of 2-3 weeks. It's ridiculous. You have to go out on way more of a limb to deny Yeshua. That's why they muddied the water and they hid the truth, and then they gave you this surface level Christianity so that you think that you found the truth. And I'm not, you did find the truth, but you don't fully understand it. I'm not saying that you're like condemned or something like that. I'm just saying they don't want anyone to have the full grasp of everything, because if on a mass scale we started to find out that the Watchers came down and the whole world was deceived, there were giant civilizations and gods everywhere, Deception 2.0, which is obviously on the horizon, would not work nearly as well. Okay, and so that's why this has been crafted like this. True that. True that. Yeah, that dude's a loser. All right, so Bill Maher, get on somewhere. You are deliberately dishonest in your little nonsense film. People always want to be God, bro. So they don't want to relinquish any form of reverence over to the true creator, because they want to be God. That's all it is. Pride comes before the fall. Where did that saying come from? We've all heard that saying. Where did it come from? The scriptures. Okay, that's where that is derived from. So, yeah, and this is true also. There's no doubt. And even what's in there has been mistranslated and misrepresented and been translated 30 times. But there's power in that book, bro. I promise. Because God supersedes semantics. But that's how I understand it now. Because I know there's power in that book, bro. Like, I know it. But that's anecdotal. I have to explain some other time. We're already at 2:50. But yeah, dude, it's been nice chopping it up with y'all. Nice conversation. Hit y'all with 3 hours. I got some sleep. I think we've done pretty good ladling the gravy. And basically the entire premise here was be careful with what you believe and make sure you can substantiate it. Also make sure you actually believe what you claim to believe. Don't just turn your head to contradictory evidence or contradictory experiences, right? Be honest, because that's what God cares about. I mean, it's inherent. If you understand just the mere concept of God, then you know honesty and logos is the same thing. It's intertwined in the omnipotence and the omnipresence of God, right? And so if you know that, then just keep pursuing truth. It's like you're not a bad person if you've been a preacher for 30 years and not known some of this stuff. Like, what makes you a bad person is if you refuse to look into it because you've been a preacher for 30 years. That's where you lose my respect, bro. You know, like, we all are living and we're all learning as we go, bro. But and we're part of the biggest deception ever. So it's understandable that you don't know all these things, but it's actually like super relieving. Like, that's the thing about the truth in these times where everything's being revealed. The times of things being revealed is super relieving. It gives you more gratitude and clarity. You don't force yourself into a state of confusion to cling on to beliefs. God doesn't want to make you do that. That's not what God does. God doesn't put you in a state of confusion where you have to lie and bend and twist and backflip to try to protect his belief system. That's not what he does. He is God. He is truth. He doesn't need you to do that. He needs you to keep seeking truth. Keep seeking and speaking truth and meaning what you say. He wants you to read the Book of Enoch and understand the context of the Old Testament. He wants you to do that. He wants you to look into some of the books that have been removed. The apocryphal books were still in the King James Version and the 1611 King James Version. So when someone tells you the current canonized text is perfect, well, then they're like, oh, what about the original King James Version? This comes from lack of knowledge, arrogance, ego. All right. I don't care. I don't care if you're offended. right? Why did I stop going into physical church or physical buildings called churches? Because of this stuff, because I'm not taught about the real stuff, right? Like a preacher should talk about the stuff I've talked about in this stream. You should break that down. I'm not saying there aren't any, but there aren't any where I live. And I can't help it, bro. Like I can't help but speak the truth, bro. Is Christ Savior of all? Yes. Yes. And everyone is on their own path to understand that. And so, I feel my job is to get them to just start heading down that path, not going around bashing people with rigid dogma of the current Christian belief. But yes, Yeshua is the way to eternal life. It certainly does appear that way. That's what I believe wholeheartedly. And he's done things for me that people wouldn't believe. And he showed himself to me in ways people wouldn't believe. And, just the way it is, bro. And they hate him, and you got to understand the whole story is they came down in tainted genetics, and that's what the Old Testament was. It was teaching the Israelites. It was giving guidelines to the Israelites to help keep them separated, differentiated from all these other cultures that were stemming from the Watchers, and were all the civilizations that were revering the Watchers and their offspring as gods. He was keeping them separate. He was telling them how to beat them at their own games. He was protecting them during war. He was helping them wipe them out. That's what the Old Testament is. It's a set of rules and guidelines that God gave the chosen, protected bloodline to protect them against all of these Nephilim. And when I mean chosen protected bloodline, it's because he made a covenant with Abraham, and they had to protect the purity of the bloodline so the Messiah could be born. Once Yeshua was born, that's out the window. There's a new covenant now. Yeshua's been born. Now we're all part of Israel. Okay, so if you don't understand that, then you don't understand what's going on. And that's why Judaism, they just take out Yeshua, they take out the Old Testament, and they're taking all these guidelines without context and without it being what it's actually supposed to be applied to, which is protection against these other literal gigantic civilizations that had these different deities of giants and metaphysical knowledge and understanding that came from the Watchers or the Star People or whatever they called them. It was used to protect against that and to not let them just be easily conquered. Okay, now Judaism takes that, ignores Yeshua, who fulfilled over 300 prophecies and is historically accurate, and you can't deny it. Okay, and then they took him out, they took all the writings that came from his disciples out, and they just still use these to justify manipulating people, being subversive, right? But we're just humans. So they're using the rules God gave them to use against the giants and the Nephilim and the Watchers. They're using that against humans, saying that they're the chosen literal blood when they don't even understand the actual context of why that was ever even a thing. This is the true story. Okay, so there's my take on that. So maybe that will click in some people's mind that are on here, that are watching that, and they'll be able to swallow their pride to think, wow, I've never heard someone put it to me like this, and Austin's actually making sense. And it's because that's just the truth. That's where the truth leads you. And if you stop like, oh, I've been raised in church my whole life, I'm Baptist till I die, I know everything. I know the canonized text is perfect. I know there's no mistranslations. I know Enoch's fake. Well, you're not going to find the truth, my man. That's called ego. It's the same thing we see with people swearing up and down that this earth is a tiny speck of dust, cartoon CGI ball, defying the basic laws of physics, shooting through the infinite, ever-expanding universe of warped space-time. Okay, it's hard to even say their religion out loud with detail because it's so retarded, but they believe it wholeheartedly, and they'll never even look into the fact that it could be fake. If they don't look into it, nothing you can do. That's why I always say we can only show you the box. It's up to you to unplug from the box, bro. Like, I don't want to convince you of things. Only thing I want to convince you of is stepping back and swallowing your pride and re-examining things. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, indeed he is. Okay, yeah. So what you'll find out is everyone thinks they know everything about this. Look, I don't know everything. That's my whole point, right? I can only tell you that where I'm coming from is pure, bro. Like, I mean everything I'm saying, right? Like, I've had experiences, and I'll go in detail with them, on another stream. But it's not just that, right? It's the study of it without bias. Okay, so this is my take on everything. All of the religions, they stem from polytheistic representations of the Watchers, of the Star People that really came down here and were real. They're not fairy tales. They weren't primitive civilizations painting on a wall with low IQs. They had high IQs. They had high levels of metaphysical knowledge. They're real life depictions. They're literal depictions. You've been lied to about everything. And there's a reason for that, because there's Deception 2.0. They get out. According to Enoch, they get out. I'm just trying to wake you up, right? But it's up to you to do it, bro. Like, I can do nothing about it. But yeah, that's basically my take on all of that. So yeah, like Christianity, the Roman Catholic interpretation of Christianity has been super corrupted. This is factual, okay? Jesus said not to call any man father when he was talking to the priest. They call the priest father. They worship, they pray to Mary and Peter as intercessors whenever the Bible specifically and expressly states that only Yeshua is the mediator. No graven images. They have rosaries and statues of Mary. They tell you to go to a man and confess your sins to another man. No, I'm good. Why is the Pope put in this deified position? He's just a dude, okay? It's blatant blasphemy, in my opinion, right? And they're built on the entire premise of Peter. What is Peter infamous for? Denying Christ, okay? So it's a Luciferian doctrine that taints the truth. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it, okay? But that's just an example of how there is truth in that, right? Because it's supposed to be revolved around Yeshua, right? But it's been tainted, okay? And then many of these polytheistic belief systems, they're not fairy tales either. Hinduism, that's not a fairy tale. Polytheistic religions aren't fairy tales. They stem from very real things. They're from the Watchers. Okay, so hopefully I'm putting everything together for you. And the point that I'm making to you is understand that if you get yourself in a state of mind where you're rigid and flooded with dogma is the death of knowledge. And you're never going to be able to fully find the truth. And all a relationship with God is, and living for God is, in my opinion, is truly seeking truth and doing what's right and promoting logos and not backing down to the enemy. That's all I got to say. Take it or leave it. So yeah, there you go. Like I always say, man. Dude, unplug from the box. The box is a metaphorical, ideological box that keeps you plugged in to the facade of reality, right? This depravity and this morbidity and this apathy and this nihilism and this atheism where you think you're a God, or there is no such thing as God. Do whatever you want to. Nothing matters. And then you look at the world as a stage, but you don't know that the world's a stage, so you believe and buy into the box, and the box is full of all kinds of different things that keep you detached from Creator, keep you detached from Logos, and have you sunk into depravity. And it's because if they detach you from creation, then now you're more controllable, you're more malleable, and so that's what's going on. I just want you to be free. I want you to be able to think for yourself. So anyway, yeah, so much love. I'll go live tomorrow night, and love.